Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Northern Winds, the D&D campaign here on Twitch TV. Tonight, we have a bit of a different episode due to, the holidays. An official episode is not happening tonight, but we do have something interesting lined up. A playtest and some character creation. I know you guys enjoy that, as I always do myself. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. So keep your eyes open and we'll see how that goes. Or doesn't, I guess that's the entire point of playtesting, really. But first and foremost, as is common, we'll introduce some beautiful faces, the new people that we're gonna playtesting with. And here are the beautiful people. Say hello.
Oh, hello there.
What's up?
Hello.
Zcotticus is here, everybody. He's the beautiful person.
There you go.
Me and Chris are just here.
Oh.
Yeah. We're just along for the ride.
Alright. These are the beautiful people. Perhaps you have met them before across communities, but nonetheless, we'll introduce them one by one. Zcotticus, who are you? What do you do? Where can we find you?
I'm Zcotticus, also known as Zcotticus, Zcotticus, and many other versions. I'm me. I'm a crazy person and I stream on Twitch. I mod a few Twitch channels. You may have seen me around there, and you may have seen me helping out Twitch support. If you tweet with a problem, I might reply to you.
Ah.
That's pretty much it. I do Twitch all day. It's great fun.
There you go. And we also have Wacksteven.
Hello. Hi, I'm Wacksteven. If you do know me, you probably might remember me for, well, I've done a lot of different things. I'm an old guy, and, well, I've been around the block a few times. A few dozen times. 35 times, whatever. I don't know. You might know me from Kings of Tin, back in the whole StarCraft 2 scene dealio with Mr. DJ Wheat. I play a lot of roles. Some might call it role play, and I have done a lot of D&D. I've done a lot of other stuff. I am currently doing a Dresden Files role-playing game on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Wacksteven. And yeah, I do a whole lot of role-playing. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm excited. I'm ready to go, man.
All right, and last but not least, Mr. I keep saying your name wrong.
Don't even try. Yeah, it's Swargula. Actually, it's really weird.
Sam, hi. How you doing?
As you do. What's up? Hi guys. My name is Swargula. I basically have been dungeon mastering at Twitch for like 2 goddamn years now. And that's about it. I play 5th edition pretty much exclusively, something like 3 to 4 to 5 times a week. West Marches style with viewers, essentially. And you can very much so drop in 30 minutes before my game and say, hey, Sam, I want to be in a game. And I go, awesome. And I hope that you have a shirt on when you turn your camera on. So that's...
I don't think anybody says that.
You'd be surprised. I got some horror stories, man.
No.
I got a guy.
No,
Ugh.
don't. No.
We're not going to go down this street. We'll save this street for Chris's channel.
All right, fair enough. Just a little bit softer in your sound there, Sam. Just so that you are, equal with everybody else. But yeah, like, we're gonna be playtesting these beautiful people, and we're gonna create some characters with them. But before that, as I did in episode 0 when we first made our main characters, we're gonna talk a little bit about the campaign. Now, some of you already know this, and the people here with us do also. We're playing a West Marches type campaign. Now, this was first introduced in 2007 by Lame Mage, by a beautiful post which completely writes out how to run one, what is beautiful about it, and the long version made short comes down to it being based around the concept of there just being a lot of chaos in life, because life kind of bends us over no matter when we want it, so... like with schedule conflicts, especially with other casters, it always gets it becomes very difficult to like plan in sessions. So a West Marches type concept is beautiful because everybody can opt in when they want to play, and we can play that same day if we wanted to. Now, however, there's a few hard rules when it comes down to this, because there have to be, because otherwise you can't have these opt-in sessions, because each session is one. It's almost like a one-shot in a way. So you begin an adventure in a session, and then at the end of the session, you end that adventure. Even if you're not at the home base, if you will, you just get automatically teleported back if that's not the case. Now, the hard rules are kind of coming down to this, like, for some reason, all characters, all adventurers are naturally drawn outside the city, because the adventure is outside the city. All characters are safe inside the city, because otherwise you could, you know, player kill while other people are not playing. That would be slightly awkward. Oh yeah, you didn't play last week, your character died, I'm sorry. That would be a bit awkward. And of course, you can't retreat back to the homeland, if you will, because that is either retirement or just death in itself. So your character cannot be played anymore if you decide to, you know, roll a new character because it just doesn't fit your playstyle or whatever, which can very much happen along the course of several sessions, or just even the very first session. So that's kind of like the hardline rules when it comes down to a West Marches campaign. We also have like an upgrade system, so players can invest and grow businesses or add their own stuff if they want to, giving it a real personal touch. Death can happen at any moment. I am a DM, but I will not, you know, if they roll a dragon at the random encounter table, I will not make it a tiny dragon. No, they will face a dragon and they may very well die. So death can happen any moment. Level 1, especially in 5th edition, it's pretty cruel. Not sure if you guys have any experience with that, but level 1 in 5th edition is pretty damn cruel, I find. Everybody can get one-shotted at that point. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing. Now, talking about the campaign itself as opposed to just the framework. So everybody kind of hails from the Kingdom of Iran. It's the main kingdom, and it's a beautiful kingdom. It's a highly civilized kingdom, but for those with the adventurous heart, it's a boring kingdom. However, in due time, as kingdoms do, either in the name of greed or greatness, they decided to expand their borders and did so going up north. Hence, the northern winds. I know, I'm fucking original. Now, going past the waters, going across towards the new continent, there's high hills, and that's where the first settlers based their camp in the middle of a peninsula. Pretty easy to defend, and that grew into a city. Now, this city had struggles in due time, and perhaps these players will encounter these struggles as well. We don't know. But it's a very unique settlement where, even though they had a lot of struggles, a lot of obstacles to overcome, they did manage to flourish. And the words of fame and fortune did spread due to, you know, the unknown lands that have yet to be charted. And thus it draws adventurers either for personal reasons, may it be for fame, may it be for fortune, whatever it may be. There are a lot of adventurers that come around here and seek out other like-minded individuals to go forth and claim what has yet to be claimed. And that's kind of what we're dealing with. And, you know, I don't want to give too much away about the stories I have in play, the things that may or may not happen or are continuing, but that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So, without further ado, you guys ready for some character creation?
Yes,
absolutely.
All right. Now, I already asked these guys, these wonderful individuals, that I already have kind of like a strong idea about their character. So I'm gonna grab my player's handbook and just start at the beginning to give me like a little bit of a general idea of what kind of character we're looking at. Zcotticus, I believe you wanted to make a rogue?
Yes, a rogue. I have something written up for her. Where is it?
I'm sorry, I believe it's pronounced rouge.
Such a rouge, of course.
Yes, yeah. God, I used to make that mistake.
Oh no, you're one of those guys.
Hey, I am foreign.
I don't think that's the first time I've heard Wacksteven use that joke, actually. It's I think the last time we played, you were
What?
like,
That is a negative. No.
Wow.
I'm calling you out, man. I think that's your go-to dad joke.
Lie.
Lie.
Okay, so
Well,
my rogue.
I'll watch the VOD.
sorry. Like, we're gonna
One wearing
build...
a vest. You're claiming I'm gonna make a dad joke? Come on.
All right, so Zcotticus, a little bit higher on your volume, and yeah, speak of this mysterious rogue with or without rouge.
Yeah, so my rogue, her name is Liara. She grew up in the city, and her earliest memories are waking up cold and hungry. And then she remembers things like, the innkeepers giving her food and a bed by the hearth to keep her warm, and then the rich people and the nobles kind of spitting on her as they passed her by, with their coin purses jingling at their waists and just laughing at her. She remembers like the guards picking on people, prodding them with the butt of their spears, the other poor people like herself. And she remembers hating when the guards would just stand by and laugh as a group of noble boys would kick a beggar almost to death. She remembers being angry. She remembers making the decision that she would right the wrongs no matter what the cost is. She remembers the first time she put on her mask. She remembers the first time she drew the blade across someone's throat. She remembers the smiles on the face of the children in the street as she pressed a shiny coin into their hands. And she made the decision that she'll make more memories, she'll right more wrongs, and she'll make more smiles. That's the era.
All right, so that's a bit of a female, more bloody Robin Hood, I believe you put it.
Yeah.
A more bloody Robin Hood.
She takes from the rich, or not so much the rich, from the people who she thinks is bad. She takes their lives, and she gives justice to the poor. It's just like Robin Hood, but without so much of the money thing, and a lot more blood. Yeah.
That's like poetically like drastic. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Aye. Ironically enough, this is like a Robin Hood tangent. What if Robin Hood stole from a man who made himself rich after years of hard work, coming down from the gutter himself, worked his way up genuinely and honestly, and then he got his money stolen by Robin Hood? Has everybody ever considered that? No? Just me? Right. Moving on. We have the rogue. So let's move on to Mr. Wacksteven. What have you planned?
I have done very little planning, but there is a plan. There's always a plan. I just have to discover the plan along the way. That is the real key. No, I have a bit of an idea what I want to do with my character. I don't normally play wizards in D&D stuff. I usually like to go for the kind of character that's smashy and usually has some kind of I don't know, antisocial behavior. But this time I'm thinking I'm going to be making a wizard. I am thinking of a very eccentric kind of wizard, the kind of wizard that is stuck in his own head very often, and he's thinking about too many things at the same time. You know, he's very much like a bookworm. You know, he's the kind of guy that's got like 5 books open at the same time, and he'll like read 1 page from this one and like 1 page from this one and then 1 page from this one and try to mishmash everything together to come up with a complete thought. That's what's going on in his head all the time. And his name is Antwerp Sifrey. Yeah, that's kind of what his deal is right now.
All right, and yeah, we're gonna do character creation, so that path, that idea, the goal, I'm sure it will become clear as we get into the nitty and gritty of things. Wack, could you just turn up your microphone just a tiny smidge, and you as well, Zcotticus, just a wee bit.
Check.
It's fine. Like if you just boost it a little bit, it's fine.
I'll just get really close.
That's also perfect.
I like that.
That's also
Yeah.
great.
Stay there,
Yes.
please.
Stay there. Oh, yes.
I actually gotta go. Can we take a break?
No. You do it
Keep
live. No? Okay. And then last but definitely not least, you know, the man himself, Sam. Let's do it live. What are you gonna make?
You've been trying. It's just like, just Sam. That's just Sam. I should just apply to Twitch, just change my name to just Sam now. But I'll be playing Jean-Claude Beauregard. That's the name. That's it. And Jean-Claude Beauregard is going to be a cleric very much so. He will be a life cleric. He is a mudblood elf, is what I call them, but a half-blood elf. It doesn't matter if his dad was full elven or his mom. He actually doesn't even know if his dad is full elven. His dad's probably like 5/16 elven. His mom is probably like 7/16 elven, and that makes him. I'm not going to do the math. I'm not going to try and embarrass myself. But Jean-Claude Van Damme, not Van Damme, Beauregard, that's his name. Woo! That slipped right out.
So it begins.
I saw a picture of him. I was like, I'm going to just take Jean-Claude. But Jean-Claude Beauregard, he is a light cleric, not a life cleric, light cleric. He acts very much so like an American frat boy, but at 10 years after he has graduated college. And he's still living that fraternity life. He's basically like an 18-year-old, 30-year-old. He will be the first guy to hit someone behind the back with a stick. If the guy is unprotected, he'll take the dirty way. He's very much so looking for adventure. And he'll be the first guy down the hole. He'll probably be the first guy dead. But whatever he's going to do it drunk, and he's going to do it in some sort of fashion that will be not normal.
All right.
That's about it.
All right, so that's the person we all love to hate at that point, I presume.
Yeah.
Not very
Lovable.
clericy of you.
Yeah.
Not very clericy at all.
I was trained in it, but I'm not going to go through with it.
It's a symptom of a bigger problem. They take on everybody these days, don't worry about it. It's nothing personal. So, I'm assuming you guys have your character sheet open. So, we have a human rogue, a half-elf cleric, and a undetermined wizard?
Human.
Human wizard as well. Alright. So let me actually grab that up. Human wizard. A lot of humans, I like that. We don't actually see a lot of humans. It's a multicultural society here. Like, it's fine. Alright, so let's see what the humans get. Since we have 2 humans, your ability scores increase each by 1. Are you guys going... is any one of you excited about the variant rule, or...
I'm half elf.
Particular.
Don't think there's any feats.
You mean the
real, yeah.
The human variant?
Yeah. Well, it depends. Like, I am not opposed against the human variant. It is very powerful, but...
Yeah,
it's also niche. It's like extremely niche.
Yeah.
It can be extremely useless for a long time.
Actually, you know what? We'll do you know what we do first? Before everybody settles in on their actual character, perhaps the roles may determine different. I think everybody's kind of expecting the roles. Like, once again, this is something I allow every player to do. You are allowed to use the point-buy system or to roll the 4d6 6 times, drop the lowest one in each one of them, and then go from there. You guys all want to roll?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck yeah.
Last chance to opt out. As the chat as my witness, let's move to some rolling then. Alright, once again, like, above me, or, like, slightly diagonal of me, there normally would be extensive stats. You would see their stats, their names, their class, and whatnot. However, that is currently not present, because we don't know anything, because we're creating them right here and now. So right now, it's just a nice little blank promise of a future. Alright, anyway, start rolling. Let's start at the beginning. Zcotticus, 4d6, 6 times. May RNGesus be with you.
Let's go.
Pray.
Oh,
16,
yes,
8,
no.
12,
Okay.
17,
Damn.
9, 13.
Oh.
Holy shit, that's an alright character. That is
Damn.
alright. Oh,
Yeah.
be damned, you sir, be damned. 16, that's a +3, and 8 is a -1, 12 is a +1, 17 is a +3, 9 is -1, and a 13 is a +1, and this is before the stat change. Now he's going human. If he doesn't go human variant, he gets a +1 on everything, so... Yeah.
I'll punch these in. 17 for Dex. I think 16 for Con is pretty good.
There you go, that's pretty much your entire rogue character.
Pretty much 13 for Strength. Let's go 12 and 9 was... and... what else do I have? Oh, and 8. 8 was... 9 charisma.
I'm gonna make a lot of people withhold person right now.
I'm gonna switch to 9 and charisma to 12 because Liara is very charismatic.
All right. So very charismatic.
So it's
All right.
14, 18, 17, 10, 9, 13.
All right, and you are going to go with just the vanilla human, the +1 to all stats and such?
Yeah.
All right. Well, make sure to adjust that and get all. We'll get into the nitty and gritty of what the human actually gives you, but if you want to adjust it already, you can do that. I think the next victim is here, Mr. Wacksteven, who's actually named Chris. Why actually? Why?
Because I didn't make my nickname, and I have a friend that is a graffiti artist, and we took a trip for Thanksgiving one year, and I pointed out how all graffiti names are really stupid, and we drove past the sign that said Nervous Charlie's Fireworks, and I said, see, now that's a graffiti name. Think of all the hilarious think about all of the hilarious like murals and stuff you can make with that. And we spent the rest of the trip coming up with stupid graffiti names, and I came up with Wacksteven, and he's like, dude, that's you. And I said, oh, fantastic. So
He knows you.
That's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he looked into your soul for that.
We came up with Mild Alvin, and of course Nervous Charlie, because that was just so fantastic. Wacksteven, and those were like the three members of the ridiculously stupid graffiti name crew.
Well, all right there, Wacksteven. I think it's time for you to roll and see where you land.
Alrighty, let's do this.
Good luck.
12, 14, 13, 12. Oh God! 13. You have like about an average character that has like broken an arm in the past and it just didn't grow back right. So what? So we have a 12 plus 1, 14 plus 2, 13 plus 1, a 12 plus 1, 6 minus 2, which may very well be the lowest in the entire campaign so far. No
So
pressure.
far.
So far. I know, Sam. Or Swargula, your little
I'm gunning for it.
And 13.
Actually, I don't think you can. I don't think you. What's a 5? Is 5 minus 2, or is that minus 3?
I think
You can
it's
still get a 3.
minus 3 actually.
Then there is one that you
The
can
lowest,
do.
yeah. There's like the minus 3 is the lowest you can get because you can go roll a 4 or a 5. That's like the two lowest, right? If you roll a triple 1 or triple 1 plus 2, that's minus 3.
Technically, the book does suggest that if you get lower than an 8, you should re-roll it, but that's fine. I'm cool.
This is the consequence of rolling, my dear friend.
Yep, play it.
No, I'm
Wax
cool.
got it. Wax got it.
This is not a problem.
Okay.
believe
Well,
in you.
besides, all in all, we are playtesting. Like, if it really becomes a concern, I am not opposed to the idea of rolling in for a new character. May something happen to it, right? You know, like, things happen. Accidents, they do occur. And last, Mr. Swargula,
Just
are you ready?
swore. Just go with swore.
Swore.
That's easy.
Swore.
Some
Swore.
people go really weird and they call me swag daddy.
No,
But I won't.
I
I'm
am
not
not
gonna ask
going
you.
to call you Swag Daddy.
Yeah,
You're
let's
too white. I'm sorry.
Let's cut that right
Go.
there.
Yeah. God damn it.
46.
46. 46
D1.
dropped the lowest. 46
All right.
D1. Let's go.
Uno,
9,
dos, tres,
13,
cuatro,
13.
cinco. Boring as fuck. All right.
Wait, how much have you rolled now? 11,
That was
9,
6.
13, 13, 10, 11. So you are, you know, about average. Also another average half-elf.
Sounds about right. Sure.
Yeah, you're going with that frat boy, you know, overconfident, never achieving anything, always, you know, wanting to go back to school. You know, the girls get younger, but you get old. Wait, the girls stay the same age, but you... Wait, hold on. You get older, but... What's the quote
They
in the
still
movie?
get younger.
Like, what's the
Yeah,
quote in
he's-
the movie?
He's a pedophile now. It's canon. You started it.
No, we're not going there, but... Suddenly all children are evacuated. No reason. But what's the quote in the movie? Like, what's the quote in
No idea.
I love high school girls. They stay the same age, and I keep getting, I keep getting older, and they stay the same age.
That's the one. I keep getting all this. That's the one I was thinking about. That's
Days are confused.
yeah. There you go. So yeah, like that's 11, which is 0. a 9, which is a -1, 13, which is a +1, 13 plus 1, 10 is a 0, and 11 is a 0. However, you are in half-elf, so you get to choose some of the plus abilities.
Yeah, I'll get okay buffs.
Alright, so let me actually just go, you know, if you guys want to go with us, you can double-check us. We have the player's handbook. I've got a lot of books, but we're keeping it to the player's handbook for playtesting, just for convenience sake. You know, like, I think for most people, for most new people to my campaign, I'm going to keep it to the player's handbook, unless I have 100% confirmation that they are absolutely veterans and know the fabric of text like the palm of their hand. That's a really weird sentence. I'm foreign. Hi.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. 10 out of 10. Beautiful. All right, so we have 2 humans. You guys are both going to go with the vanilla human, or are you guys going to go and feed it up? We know that Zcotticus is going to go with the vanilla. Whack?
I'm definitely staying with vanilla as well.
All right, so you guys get a +1 to everything, which sounds really impressive, but is it though? Is it though?
I mean, it bumped my dex modifier up to a 4.
Yeah, which is fucking insane.
I think the other guys know what a modifier above 2 is, but it's really good and you should try and get some.
Yeah, +2. +4 early game is considered, you know, borderline godlike at that point. Which is pretty
like
wonderful.
20 is as high as you can get.
Yeah, like that's the max though, but you can't roll higher than 18.
No, you can't roll higher than 18, but you get the +2, and you can't even make your stats higher than 20 ever.
Yeah.
Roll during outside of like items.
Yeah, there's I think also certain classes that can do it. I think Paladin can do it.
No,
Maybe.
Barbarian can. Barbarian gets like, I think they can improve their either their strength or their constitution beyond 20. And I think there's a variant rule where magic items can push it beyond 20, but...
Oh, yeah, Barb. Yeah, Barb.
Yeah. But yeah, like then we're talking about, you know, you're like, at that point you are considered a god or demigod, so that's kind of what you're pushing up against. Which is amazing, don't get me wrong, but, you know. Let's see, so let's take a look at the humans first, just so that we are nailing the first one. Alright, so all vanilla humans, so your ability scores each increase by 1. Regular adulthood, you know, we all are familiar with that, since we are all human. Alignment, talking about alignment, we're keeping that fluid. I do hope you guys kind of keep it to the neutral and the good, just so that it's easier for party's sake. But I'm gonna be more focused about your flaw, your ideal, and your thingy. I'm not sure what the third one is. I think it's bond or something.
Thingy?
It's in your background.
Bond sounds right.
Yeah, because like, you know, like it, I feel like in a West Marches type campaign, alignment is kind of fluid. You gotta roll with the punches, especially since you're fighting mainly creatures and such. But yeah, so that's why I'm gonna check your backgrounds, and that's how I'm gonna kind of judge your roleplay, your consistency. I'm gonna reward you for it with inspiration and whatnot, and bonus experience, because I do give bonus experience for roleplay, because I do love roleplay. I feel like a lot of people don't roleplay enough and like to throw things at people and hurt them before asking questions. Alright, moving on. So yeah, your regular size, your base speed is 30, and of course languages. Do you actually get something more than common? Common, and you get an extra language of your choice. Do you guys already have an idea of what you guys want? Common and something else. Maybe Elfish, maybe Orcish, maybe something different?
I would definitely have something different.
Yeah, you're a bit scatterbrained.
Something very
exotic?
Yeah, it would be something very obscure.
Like something exotic then, maybe primordial even. Like something like that, since you mess around with the elements. And even it was like, you can look around. Like I think there's a passage somewhere in the back-ish about languages. I'm pretty sure there's somewhere. I'm not sure if it's before spells or after spells, because the D&D 5th edition book is kind of funny about that. Let's see. That's passive checks, ability scores, feats. Those are items. Let's see.
17 is language.
117?
Oh, no, hold on.
Or chapter 17?
123, sorry.
120. 123.
Page away that whole time.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, okay.
So we have the wizard Antwerp, I believe he was named, right?
Yes, my wizards.
Right. Is he going to be a young lad or like a bit of an older guy?
He's probably not super old, but I'd say that he's definitely, he's probably like 50 something.
He's like he's a bit of a sociopath.
Sociopath? No.
No? He understands emotions, like he's not a Sherlock? He's like a scatterbrained version of Sherlock?
Yeah. I mean, that's probably a fair assessment, actually.
He's like the long-lost brother of Sherlock, just a little bit crazier.
So you're just not going to do anything ever? You're just going to... What are you doing? Oh, I'm in my mind palace. And you just sit there for... Screw you, man!
I'm just going to try and look like really intelligent and like always show like my good side, like...
Make a will save to see if you do anything this round. Like, just
look around, just doing nothing. Alright, so yeah, so he's been about 50, so you already kind of have an idea of how he looks as well, which is something we're gonna continue on as well. A little bit later, just to get a visual, kind of have a visual idea of how you look. But the language, is there anything you're gonna go with? Something that pops out?
Yeah, I actually like your idea. The primordial sounds perfect.
Alright. I love primordial. As far as the exotic languages go, I think primordial is like one of the more... I don't want to say badass, but it just sounds badass. Primordial. Like, it just sounds raw.
It's pretty sweet.
I think I can talk to elements. Whoop, whoop. Alright, and for Liara?
Yeah.
Alright, what is her second language?
Are there any races that are particularly, most commonly poor? Like the people who she would meet in the street more often, or is everyone kind of equal that way?
The primary races are dwarfs at the moment, due to the fact that it's like the surrounding area right now where we have the settlement and such, and you guys can go beyond, is primarily made out of rock. It's like imagine a Scottish Highland type area. A lot of hills, foothills, mountains. There's a lot of green, a lot of forestry, but they brought in a lot of dwarves to set up the settlement. So that's kind of the idea there. So perhaps dwarfish would be then logical with your character.
Yeah,
there you go. There you have it. We have some dwarfish human that speaks dwarfish. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, and a half elf. They get a lot of stuff. As far as
+2 to charisma. Other things.
Yeah, like half elf are my favorite. Like as far as half elves go, they are my favorite class to go to if I can't be a human variant. Because I don't want to say I'm a bit of a power player, but I do enjoy to optimize my characters. But they just get so much awesome stuff. They're so lovely.
Yeah, I like them. They're pretty well rounded. And I hate playing humans.
Yeah, also boring. I love paladins. My favorite go-to class is paladin, and they get +2 to charisma, so... it's a match made in heaven, really. So yeah, they get a +2 to charisma, which makes... How did you actually distribute your points, Sam?
Oh, you don't want to hear that.
Do it.
Pretty shittily, I have a 9 strength, 14 dexterity, 11 constitution, 10 intelligence, 14 wisdom, 13 charisma.
All right, and you
We're doing it.
Cleric. So yeah, you get your +2 charisma. And this is with the altered stats or without the altered stats?
Those are after the racial bonuses. That's
so sorry, my dear friend. I am so sorry.
Oh yeah, that's all right. I got lots of pocket sand incoming. That's all I'm gonna do.
Yep. And you also need to get an ability, 2 ability scores of your choice increased by 1. What did you choose for that?
I increased wisdom and dexterity. I bumped those up to 14s.
Makes sense. Oh, just before we continue, your stats, by the way, Wacksteven, how do you do that? How did you do them?
I'm kind of debating right now how I want to do this, because I mean they're almost the same, so it's not like a huge deal either way. It's just where do I put my dump stat? I mean, like the smart thing to do is to put it in charisma, but like
you don't have to necessarily do that. You could also just charisma would make sense for your character, right? Because you're always in your own head. But like,
it would make
like
I'm not going to be able to talk to people very well.
No, like, and if you do, it's gonna be awkward as fuck unless luck strikes you. Yeah, that would make sense, logically speaking, with your character. It could also just be that you're a sorcerer, so you're not really focused on strength anyway, so perhaps you're a bit frail. But yeah, like, I like charisma, but it's up to you, lad. It's your character.
Yeah, we're gonna do 13. This is after the human mod. 13 strength, 14 dex, 13 con, 15 int, 14 whiz, 7 charisma.
All right, you don't necessarily, like, charisma doesn't necessarily mean you're ugly. You're just really awkward around people, or just you don't go well with people, right?
Well, let's put it this way: Antwerp does not understand the concept of matching clothes. Like, you know, he's got like, you know, like a plaid hat or something, you know, like it's not, and you know, like solid color, like, you know what I mean? Like he can't do the whole matching thing. Like he doesn't understand fashion.
Oh, like he's pure about the effect as opposed to, you know, he's more about making it work as opposed to making it look good.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Hey, this is cheap. My head is cold. Let me buy this hat.
Makes sense. I love that. I can work with that as a DM as well. That's beautiful. I love these little quirks because they give a character. For lack of a better term. Anyway, going back to Mr. Sam. All right. So your age, yeah, you live
got the
about
pronunciation right that time.
Yeah, I know,
you really nailed the.
It's 10 out of 10. I'm great. You know, I'm a professional. I do things for a living. However, often exceeds about 180 years, so you get old. Like, what is your age as a half-elf?
Let's see, age to about 180. That would make him like 50.
About 50. So he's kind of young. He's relatively young.
Yeah, he recently went to his 10-year college reunion.
All right, in the Kingdom of
So
Iran.
that age.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm guessing Oran. Is it Oran? Like Aran?
Like the deity. It's like the deity.
It's
It's a little bit of a joke because characters come from the kingdom, so they come alive, and then when they go back, it's essentially death anyway. So it's the god of life and death. It's a thing that I thought. I found myself so smart doing it, but nobody
Very
really.
clever.
Yeah, nobody really catches on that. By the way, Liara, how old is she?
She's quite young. She's 21.
21. Oh. All right, so already so already so much name. Wait, what do you call that? Already so many names on her blade or blood on her hand. I don't know. She's bloodthirsty. That's the thing. Beautiful. Just move on. Alignment.
Do we get max health at first level?
Yeah. Always max health. Just your max hit die plus your constitution. For future references, if you guys do live long enough to level up, you get to choose either your average plus con, or you can roll for con. That's what I do. I do give people the option to like avoid RNG and be more consistent, because, you know, not everybody likes -6s and such. I whack. Moving on. Sorry, no, I'm not. Let's see. So we have the max hit die for everybody indeed. So half elves. Once again, alignment is fluid. We're gonna be more focused about your fly, your ideal, and the thingy-majig that I forgot. About the same size as humans. Your speed is 30. You have dark vision, which is lovely. You have superior vision in dark and dim conditions. You can see in dim lights within 60 feet of you, as it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. It's, you know, it's a neat little thing to have. And also, by the way, all your race features, you want to make sure to note them down somewhere. You can access them easily, so you don't have to forget them and perhaps, you know, miss out on something. Because I have had in the past where people forgot their lucky feat, for example. We have a rogue who has a lucky feat, and he keeps forgetting it. We had a halfling who has also got like some kind of like lucky feat based on critical failures that you can reroll at any given time. Also forgotten a couple of times. So make sure you have that accessible easily. Even though the character is a little bit shit at times, you know, you can work with it. Just make sure it works for you. Oh, Fey Ancestry. This is an important one as a half-elf. I love this one. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic cannot put you to sleep. That's actually a really awesome one. skill versatility, you gain proficiency in 2 skills of your choice. Anything in mind?
This is for me, right?
Yeah, yes, for half elf, yes. We'll go back to the humans.
Yeah,
I completely forgot about this. I'm so sorry. I'm like Antwerp. I'm a bit scatterbrained.
I took persuasion and insight.
Ooh, persuasion insight. Now, granted, you can, I will allow that you guys can change these because based on your background, that also in the 5th edition, you also get like skills and proficiencies and some stuff. Like we're just doing that for mechanical purposes. I still want you guys, assuming your characters live in, you know, whatnot. I do guys want you to like kind of write like a background story that I can read, so I kind of understand your characters and whatnot, and you know. Because otherwise it's very difficult to draw from that in a Wedge Marches campaign, because the only 2 things that are constant are the world and the characters. So, you know, a lot of character arc can happen if I have the right background information. Also, coming back to the languages, you can write Common, Elvish, and 1 extra language of your choice. What are you thinking about?
I took Goblinoid, the most partying of all the other races.
Any reason for that? Or because
Goblinoids are great partiers. Look, my frat invited them to a party once, and they were a big hit. And in a drunken stupor, Jean-Claude learned a bit of Goblinoid, and he loved the language so much and its ability to woo very drunk women that he continued to learn it, and it continued to serve him well into his 50s.
Partying Goblinoids. You heard it here first.
He has an affinity for the bugbear ladies.
Yeah, he has an affinity for the people with low intelligence. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. All right, Goblinoid. That's something I did not expect. So that's gonna be interesting. Let's see. So coming back to the humans, they also get like a little bit more stuff because they went with the vanilla human. The same speed, languages, indeed, 1 extra language of your choice. Oh wait, you don't get skill? Oh no, that's the human variant. No, we are right, we are done with humans. Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty plain Jane.
Yeah, they're pretty versatile, but you know. Alright, so we have 2 humans and a half health, that's neat. Alright, so now we are going to go to the backgrounds before we go into the classes. Because I found that backgrounds are a little bit more important to figure out first, because otherwise we're gonna have to go back and forth with skills and such to mix and match, and it gets kind of chaotic. So let's do background a little bit first. Now in 5th edition you have you know, these pre-made backgrounds. Now we're just gonna use them for like mechanical perspectives, like starting items and proficiencies and such. Once again, I want to have your own personal background to go with it. Now, if you don't have a solid story, you can use one of the ones given in the book itself, but, you know, it would be awesome to have a personal arc that I can draw from. Let's see, let's go back to the personality and background, which start at 121. For those who are wondering, 121 in the player's handbook. So, we're not doing alignments, they're kind of fluid, but I do hope that most people play their character kind of neutral, if not good. Because, you know, having a chaotic evil character amongst a bunch of like lawful good people may end up being a bit squishy. Or a bit of an awkward situation. But beyond that... Oh yeah, ideals, bonds, and flaws are the ones I was looking for. But yeah. So if you keep going through the pages, does anybody have anything that stands out when it comes down to the pre-made backgrounds? We have Acolyte.
I'm thinking Sage for...
Sage. Makes sense, makes sense.
Oh, God.
Now, you guys just walk through... We'll walk through Sage first, then. Let's see. Oh, where's Sage? I thought I saw him.
137. 137?
137? I thought I saw his face with his hat.
No, it's the ranger pictures right below the start of it.
Oh, why is the ranger depicted as a... Oh, because the wanderer. Never mind. Alright, so Sage, let's see. Skill proficiencies, Arcana and History. Those are the ones you get, so... Indeed, if you decide to go with the Sage, make sure to write that down. It makes sense, you know. You spend years learning the lore of the multiverse, and well, you are a bookworm as you described, so it fits perfectly. Ironically enough, you know, you have common, you have primordial, and in addition to the skill proficiency of arcane and history, you also get 2 more languages.
Yep. So I'm probably gonna do like again. I'm probably do like one normal one and another obscure one.
All right.
So it'd probably be like, we'll say probably Elvish, and the other one would probably be, I'd say maybe Sylvan.
Sylvan?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. All right. So we have, we have the Sylvan and we have the Elvish. You get a bunch of stuff, which is very specific, but the only thing I really care about is the fact that you only get 10 gold pieces to start off with.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, like, you know, if you want to write those things down specifically, you can. If you think they come in handy, otherwise you can kind of forego them. I don't really keep track of these things specifically, but if you think one of these things really stands out, you can.
I had
But
1,000 gold to start, didn't I? Well, I think that was about right, right?
No, just 10. Just 10. no. Just a 10. And then we're gonna have some fun, indeed, trying to get the ideal, bond, and flaw, which you have to also note down in your character sheet. So, if you go through the list over there, you have a bunch of ideals, a bunch of bonds, and a bunch of flaws. Now, I'm not gonna let you roll for that. I'm gonna have you just choose or come up with your own. So let's see. We have a bunch of them. You know what? I will give you just a chance to read through them. And see if anything pops out. We'll get back to you. And if nothing pops out, you know, it gives you some time to think of them yourself in the same fashion. So we can help you with, you know, so it helps me give you, get like a bit of a consistent vision of your character. In the meantime, we'll go back to Zcotticus. Have you already found one?
Yes, I believe Urchin fits quite well with Liara. So she grew up on the streets alone, orphaned and poor.
Let's see, which one was that?
Urchin, page 141.
41. Oh, I was a little bit off. Let's see, Soldier Urchin. You grew up on the streets alone, orphaned and poor. You had no one to watch over you or to provide for, so you learned to provide for yourself. And then ties in then in your quote-unquote Robin Hood behavior later then. That's beautiful. Alright, so your skill proficiencies end up being sleight of hand and stealth. Makes sense. Makes sense. This is important, however. You get tool proficiencies with a disguise kit and thieves' tools.
Yeah.
You also get a small knife and a map of the city you grew up in and all that stuff. Basic clothing, and you too get about 10 gold pieces. So very important.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to boost your volume just a little bit, Zcotticus, when you have the chance, that would be great.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
And the 10 gold pieces is very important to keep track of that. And then for you too, it goes the same thing. Figure out if you have a particular ideal, bond, or flaw that stands out. Or otherwise, come up with your own. You only have to pick one, but it's just that I have a good idea of your character. So, before we go back to Wack, let's just drop in with Mr. Sam over there. Have you already got one?
Yeah, I'm gonna be taking the folk hero.
Is this like a folk hero who thinks he's a folk hero, or actually is a folk hero?
No, so I even thought of this very quickly. I drunkenly stumbled into a village one time and found out their local lord had installed a law banning alcohol. And being the frat boy that I was, I rallied the villagers and we stormed up to the keep of the gate, where I very persuaded the lord by wedding his daughter and saying I was going to marry her and fall in love. Thus, he bribed me away from marrying his daughter by giving the town back their alcohol, and I became something of a local legend. I don't remember it. I remember parts of it.
Bit of a blur, if you will.
Yeah, it was something in my 30s.
All right.
I was a senior.
Folk hero. So you get animal handling and survival.
No idea why, but I got him.
It's like that. That's where like the thing kind of comes in. It's like a.
Yeah, I'm like, look, guys, look, I'm really good with horses, and just like all of a sudden, I'm just like, oh, and I turn into Pocahontas.
Yeah, like Like this is one of those moments where, mechanically speaking, perhaps it doesn't really add up.
Mechanically, but it sounds nice.
It sounds. However, you are a cleric and you are a bit of a frat boy, so that again, that doesn't necessarily sound like adding up in the most common or most general term of a cleric either. So you just have weird abilities that don't really fit your personality.
He's a little strange.
He's a bit strange. So animal
He's just caught in the
handling,
glory days.
animal handling and survival.
I feel like he's been very much so like after college, he's like, I'm going to take a leap year and I'm not going to work. I'm just going to like roam the countryside. And 30 years later, he's still doing it.
Yeah.
And so he's learned to survive by himself. And from time to time, he's just always had an affinity for animals. So he'll see like a grasshopper and he'll be like, oh, cool, a grasshopper. You want to drink, little buddy? And the grasshopper will come over and like, I'll just like, here you go. We'll just get drunk together and then I'll pass out and forget that it ever happened.
Yeah. Maybe you picked it up on your studies when you were still, trying to study, when you picked up your frat boyness. Or perhaps during your travels, you picked it up because, sometimes things just have to
I think it's
happen.
It's like a post-college skill that I picked up.
Yeah, like
I'm still searching myself.
One of these days you were just so drunk, you found yourself in the wilderness, and the only way to survive was to live off the land. Where the actual village was like 5 steps behind you, but you just never noticed. Anyway, so animal handling, survivals, you get one type of artisan tools, vehicles and land.
Yep, only gets weirder.
Yeah, like, so you know how to drive something, and you know how to build or use tools for something.
I probably spent, like 2 years of my life as part of like a gypsy caravan, just like healing them when they would take tumbles from like the giant pole and doing their flips and shit. I'd be like, all right, you got like a broken knee, let me help you out.
Healing them from the giant pole? Is that what you just said?
I don't know. Gypsies are weird, man. Don't worry about it.
Why do they have a giant pole exactly?
Because they're gypsies. They can do what they want with the giant pole. I don't judge, man. I don't judge. You live and let live, Steven.
It sounds like an interesting weekend.
Yeah, like maybe you did travel with them and partied with them, and maybe in doing so you picked up these weird skill proficiencies. That could be
I can now lead a horse cart. Fine, I can lead a mule that's pulling my cart just fine.
That's fine. Like you just have to make sure you indeed decide on a vehicle as well as an artisan tool. And if you indeed go with like some kind of a bit of a group of travelers or something, then yeah, you may have to pick accordingly.
Right, so I'll put specifically carts.
Yeah.
Proficiency with cart driving.
Like I'm not sure if there's anything specifically designated to do that.
Not really. Just in case we get in a high-speed kart race, I'll be your bro. All right, well, I've driven drunk before. I can get us home, guys.
Yeah, I believe there's actually vehicles you can choose from during somewhere around the inventory section. There's actually tools you have to choose from and vehicles you can choose from.
Yep. You ready for this next one? Glass blowers tools. I learned it. My father was a glass blower. And I grew up as a kid doing it. And every now and then I'm just like, look, guys, I can blow glass.
I see where this is going.
Oh, wait. I didn't even plan that shit. Oh, wait, yeah, you guys need a new pipe. I don't want to be a stoner. You're turning me too frat.
Yeah, you do need to have
the one that made the character, man.
Yeah.
It just comes naturally to you.
By the way, I think you might be looking at carriages as opposed to a cart then, honestly.
Probably. I don't know. Just steering a horse.
Yeah, page 157. That's where the vehicles are. And then if you're looking for the tools, there are like a few they're on 154. So you can choose one of those artisan tools indeed. I'm not sure.
So there's a glass blower,
cart,
drawn vehicles, cart, So I did that, and then tools is glass blowers tools. Yeah.
So you know how to pull a card around. All right. Well, indeed, go and read through those ideals, bonds, and flaws. If you want to pick one of those and write them down. Otherwise, make up your own for each section. You only need one. And we'll get back to you.
You want those written in though, whatever we choose, even if we
if you come up with it or just roll or pick one of these, I want you guys to roll to put that down so I can use that as a consistent character thing that I can come back to or understand your character with. So let's come back to Mr. Wacksteven, the sage of the bunch.
God,
so what did you end up choosing or make up?
All right, so I guess it's kind of a variant on. I'm gonna just kind of go down top to bottom. So the personality trait. I was kind of doing a variation on number 6, the I speak slowly when talking to idiots, which almost everyone is compared to me. It was going to just be sort of nonsensical gibberish most of the time. You know, like when talking to people that he doesn't necessarily know very well, since he's got such horrible charisma. You know, he does. It's just sort of rambling and nonsensical.
All right.
I don't know if that'd be more of a flaw or if we want to do that as a personality trait.
It's up to you. Like, I didn't even think you would go for a personality trait because you can come up with those things on your own, right? But yeah, you can write them down and just make sure you keep yourself to it because it's important.
Okay.
Which brings us to the ideal then.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely knowledge.
Mm-hmm. The
path to power and self-improvement is through knowledge.
All right. So you like to go, you know, knowledge above all type of thing, as opposed to perhaps more like gold, for example, or whatever.
Exactly. No, I'm a wizard, guys. And I am. That's like the whole reason that he's out and about.
All right. Then we come to your bond.
So he's see, now this is one I was kind of having a bit of trouble with. So I'm gonna say that it's like a different version of number 2. I have an ancient text that holds terrible secrets that must not fall into the wrong hands. It's more along the lines of he has that knowledge, not necessarily the text.
All right, that's fine.
And because he holds that knowledge in his head is the reason that he speaks the way that he does. It's a means to protect that knowledge.
Ah, all right. Then perhaps one day I have to find out what that knowledge is, since I rule the world. That might be interesting for me. Ooh, character arcs. There you go. So yeah, make sure to write that down. I'm assuming you have to write it all down already.
Yeah.
Okay, and then flaw. What did you go with that, or what did you pick?
Well, I that's kind of where I was struggling a bit between the personality trait. I guess my personality trait thing was supposed to be kind of my flaw, which is that I generally have a hard time talking with people, and that it's that whole feeling of not really being able to put together a cohesive thought when communicating with other people.
So it's almost like a variation of 5, almost.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, if you can put it in decent words, what your flaw actually is. Like, you don't have to use exactly one of these, but if you can put it into like reasonable words that if we look at it for like a month from now, we understand what it is. That is perfect then. All right. Okay. So then your character has a personality and a background. Congratulations. Moving forward, you're kind of almost there. Moving on to Zcotticus, the urchin. What did you end up picking with for your ideal?
For my ideal, I am going for change. The lore lifted up and the high and mighty are brought down. Change is the nature of things.
Ah, perfect. Change, yep. That's a bit of a chaotic nature, which fits perfectly, yes. And for a bond.
No one else should have to endure the hardships I've been through.
So that's 6. Ooh, there you go.
Fits so well with Liara.
Yeah. It's you know, tough lady, but big heart type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah,
6
she's
would...
not a bad person.
No, like she's, you know, it's a means to an end. Almost. In certain situations. Unless somebody retaliates, then your character's dead. Anyway, what's your flaw?
I'd rather kill someone in their sleep than fight fair.
Oh, you're a rogue.
Number 4.
Yeah, okay. That's number 4. That's perfect. All right. So you try to, if there's an easier way to do things, then
Yeah,
Perfect.
she won't fight fair. I mean, the ends justify the means, so she'll do what she needs to do to get things done.
perfect. Like it's you know, it's rather doesn't have to be exclusively. So, all right, that's perfect. We're about to move to classes then, but before we do that, Sam, what was it? What was you?
One day,
One day. Like, what did you pick again?
for
Folk
what?
hero. You're right,
Folk hero, yeah.
Yes. All right. So, what are the things you went with for your idea?
All right. So my ideal is respect. I treat everyone with dignity and respect.
That's
Number one of
surprising.
the, not just the bro code, but the broina code as well. It's very important.
Yeah, it's certainly is. It absolutely is. What is your bond?
Adventure. I did. I don't think I did a bond out of the book. I did adventure, excitement, and thrills. Worship the gods more than anything.
Okay.
That's kind of the bond that I'm gonna go with.
Live hard, die young.
Yeah, live hard in honor of the gods. That's how they would want it.
And die young. All right.
Yeah.
Flaw. What is your
Does your
flaw?
half elf? Does your half elf look like Andrew WK?
Oh.
No, I have a token though. It's pretty close. It's like it's actually pretty close. Do I have a token uploaded? Oh,
It's
I
like
do.
a budget version of Andrew WK.
Yeah.
I might change that token. We'll see. We'll see.
Like what? Like the tokens don't really matter because you know, like it's only for representation of the of where the characters are. Like I wish there was like in Roll20 there was like some generic token, like a letter or something that I could get, so I can just connect it. Like, the
No,
first
yeah,
letter
you'd
of
have
the
to
name.
like upload one on your own.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you know, whatever tokens, we can connect those to your sheets in due time.
Yep.
So
My flaws. I made my own again. I'm overly trusting. I'll trust anybody who tells me anything. For the most part, pretty much anything. But you lie to me once, and we're done. You know, it's the bro code. Bros don't lie to bros.
okay.
That's it's a way to do it. And since everybody's my bro, you just don't lie.
There
Not
you
that
go.
I don't lie anyway. But and then I did another flaw as well. Because
Another one?
obviously.
Another
Yeah, I took kind of. Well, I mean, I figured he's gonna have another flaw anyway. I'm gonna act as he does.
I think
So I
your
might as well write
personality
it
is already
down.
a flaw, but you know, continue.
Yeah, exactly. He tends to drink his memory and decision making skills away, for the most part.
There you go.
He makes bad decisions because of his bond, and because he drinks too much, and he basically just goes for anything.
All right. Well,
He's
make
that
sure.
friend of yours where you're like, you want to jump off the cliff into the water, and he won't even give it a second thought. Before he even answers, he'll have his shirt off and be jumping off the cliff.
God, your character's gonna.
He's that guy. Everyone's got that friend, right?
Your characters are gonna die so hard, so fast.
Oh, yeah.
And so beautifully. All right, so make sure to write all that down. And then last but not least, the winner we had everybody, right? Did I miss anything?
We had
Done everyone.
You're just used to more people. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I've got too much space now. So yeah, I think, you know, one of the more important things in life, the classes. We have a wizard, that's Wacksteven. We have a rogue, which is Zcotticus, and we have a cleric, which is Mr. Sam. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen.
Just swore. Look, SWAR, swore. Just-
Swargula.
That nailed it. Look at that.
Yeah, I
Oh
know.
my god, that was amazing.
Nailed it.
So anyway,
You're a
Sam,
beautiful- no problem.
let's start.
No
with,
problem.
Let's start at the beginning. Zcotticus, you are a rogue. Now we're all starting at level 1 for those who are unfamiliar with the rules. Everybody starts at level 1 unless perhaps in the future certain things in the city may become unlocked so that returning member or members that have died previously can make characters that are perhaps -1 their old character level or something. I have to figure these things out still, but nobody has yet shown any interest in investing in this city, as all characters are pretty relatively new. Looking at the rogues, where are they? Where are my rogues at?
Page 94, 95.
94, got him. Alright, so you start with a 1d8 per rogue level. Now first level gives you max health, so that puts you to a max of 8 plus your con. What was your con again?
17, so +3.
It's 11 health. It's 11 health as a rogue. Be damned, my friend, be damned.
I'll only
Alright.
take 2 hits to kill.
Well, that depends on what is hitting you. Anyway, light armor is your proficiency. You have proficiency with all simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. So make sure to write all these down. Alright, yeah, you have indeed got those thieves' tools, which also something you have proficiency with from your background. So that is a perfect sync right there. Your saving throws are dexterity and intelligence, so make sure to check those. Dexterity and intelligence, and then your skills. Choose 4 from acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, performance, persuasion, sleight of hand, and stealth. Which 4 do you pick?
Okay, so I already have sleight of hand and stealth from my background. So I will take acrobatics.
Good choice.
I take deception.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I will take. You will take. Wait, what are dex ones? So let's just play this that way. Okay, I've got all the dex ones. Awesome. I will take insight.
All right.
Oh man, yeah. I'm in a -1 whiz, so insight. Yes.
Evens out.
And one more.
Mhm.
Yes, one more, and I will take. Performance.
All right.
No, persuasion. Okay.
Persuasion?
Persuasion. Yes,
All
persuasion.
right. So you've got a bunch of skills,
Yeah.
which is amazing. All right. So yeah, like you start at level 1, which gives you a proficiency bonus of +2, which counts for everybody. At level 1, what are the things that you get? What else do you get? Oh yeah, your starting equipment. Let's see. Let's just go down the list. I'm not sure if you already written it down, but a rapier or short sword?
Rapier.
Rapier. A short bow and quiver of 20 arrows, or a short sword?
I'm gonna go with a short bow.
All right, a short bow and 20 arrows.
20 arrows.
So I would encourage you to also make sure to write down the range in the name. So would it be like, it would be something along the lines of like 80-300 or something stupid like that.
I'll get it real quick. Yeah.
Just make sure to write that in the name, because if you hit anything within the first range, it's like without penalty, and then the second range after the first range is with disadvantage, if I'm not mistaken.
Short bow. 83-20. Yeah, you were close.
Yes.
To be fair, they give you some pretty huge ranges with a lot of weapons in this game.
True. That is true.
Okay.
And yet, everybody doesn't seem to really abuse that fact in most cases. Which brings us to our next thing: a burglar's pack, a dungeoneering pack, or an explorer's pack.
It's gonna be a burglar's pack.
All right. What's in the burglar's pack is you have to write that down yourself if you want to keep track of it.
Yeah.
Which I do encourage, because there's some neat stuff in there. And then you also get leather armor.
Yep.
2 daggers, and of course the thieves' tools, which you already had as well. So you've got double thieves' tools. Doesn't really do anything. All right.
Hopefully, you have
However,
some kind of soundtrack like the Pink Panther that plays whenever you try and sneak or something.
doo-doom, 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 doo-doom. That's the Pink Panther, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Doo-doom, doo-doom. Now a rogue gets a lot of stuff at level 1. You also get Thieves' Cant, which is a passive when it comes down to, like, you know, the language of the thieves. The more important one is, of course, make sure you write down sneak attack somewhere.
Ah, yes. I'll need to remember that.
In 5th edition, you can get sneak attack on once per turn the moment there is an enemy of the enemy or of your target within 5 feet, or if you have advantage. So make sure to keep track of that. It starts at 1d6 bonus damage, which is lovely. But a little bit more complicated one is the expertise that rogues start off with. And there's a special thing you can click in your skill sections. Instead of yes, it goes to expertise then, or whichever skills you pick. At first level, choose 2 of your skill proficiencies, or 1 of your skill proficiencies and your proficiency with thieves' tools. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check you make that uses either of the chosen proficiencies.
Yeah. I think I'll go with stealth as an expertise. And I think acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Yeah.
All right, you're pretty nimble then. That's double
Those
your
are
proficiency bonus.
+8 now.
Yeah, that's insane. Because you get double. It's double. It's 4 + 4. Because your dex is 4, proficiency is 2, which is experience. Yeah, it's +8. Jesus. Wow.
So stealthy.
Wait, what did you get a +8 in?
Stealth checks and acrobatics checks.
You are the knight.
I'm a ninja, pretty much.
Like he just stands in front of you, like you blink and he's gone. Poof. It's beautiful.
Darkness.
All right, so that is the once you write down the sneak attack and the Thieves' Cant, I think that you are done. So think about how your character looks and just, you know, polish everything up, make sure everything is correctly filled in, and we'll go from there. Let's go to Mr. Wacksteven, the wizard. Now this is a can of worms that I never want to open when it comes down to the wizard and the spellcasting. Holy shit. But we're in it now, balls deep to the wall. Here we go. Wizards. Let's start at the beginning. 1d6 is your HP plus your con, which brings you to a total of...
So let's see, +1 for con, so that's a 7.
A total of 7 health. And once again, for everybody, I allow people to roll their levels in addition to this. Otherwise, it's just a simple or an average plus your con. So, you know, if you want to have that consistent health
are we
up.
rolling for the HP?
No. Like when it comes up to level 2, level 3, level 4.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Level 1 is always max health. Otherwise, imagine if you roll a 1 as a wizard.
Yeah.
Ah.
D&D first edition.
Oh. No.
I want to do that as a campaign now. Everyone gets 1 hit point every level.
No.
It'd be awesome.
No.
I mean, it wouldn't last very long.
I would go Warlock, go into Fiend, and just start blasting Eldritch Blast and just get temporary hit points. Anyway, don't make it.
Yeah, you just 10 hit point it up.
Yeah. Hey, I know way around things. I know things, man.
You
I've
just
seen
force
things.
people to min-max. You just like, don't get hit once or you're fucked.
Everybody would go range. Anyway. Armor, none. Well, you know, you get your ropes, I guess, but your weapons proficiency are daggers, darts, slings, a quarterstaff, or quarterstaffs, and light crossbows. So make sure to write those down. I'm assuming you already have done those.
Yes.
Your proficiencies, right. Saving throws, intelligence and wisdom. And skills, choose 2 from Arcana, History, Insight, Investigation, Medicine, and Religion.
Well, since I already have Arcana and History from Sage, it's gonna be probably Insight and Medicine.
All right. Not Investigation, with your Scatterbrain, Brookwormy, Intelligence, Know-It-All.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna switch Insight with that.
Yeah, because Insight is more like a personal thing, right? And you are bad with people, so...
Yeah. That's what I was...
Like, it's up to you, but...
No, it's... And I know Medicine is like crap, but whatever.
It's fine. So, you know, like you're purely intellect, dude. If somebody needs to know something, you probably have it or know how to figure it out.
And
Alright.
he doesn't understand religion, so that's not
Yeah.
really a thing. Yeah.
For the common folk. Right? Because intelligence. Anyway, equipment. In addition to the equipment granted by your background, you also gain a quarterstaff or dagger.
Quarterstaff.
Alright. A component pouch or arcane focus.
Definitely component pouch.
Not a focus, because that rules over... Like, this is the one thing I never understood. A component pouch is required to hold components in, but if you have an arcane focus, you don't need to use any kind of components unless you unless they are...
From what I understood, the component pouch is what had your... it carries everything that you need for spell reagents, right?
Until they run out, which would be a bitch to track.
Yeah.
Like the arcane focus, at least in 5th edition, what it does is, you instead of using reagents, you can use the arcane focus. However, if there's a specific spell that requires a...
Yeah, my quarterstaff is my arcane focus, so we'll just do that.
That's fine. So there's probably something... Now, your quarterstaff is the arcane focus, but probably something that you put on your quarterstaff is your arcane focus then. Maybe there's like a gem you put in or something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That could be it.
That makes more sense then, because like arcane focus is used in place of the reagent, unless, and this is a big unless, there is a specific price in gold or whatever currency specified that is required. For example, the identification spell has that. You need to use like a 100 gold pearl or something.
Yeah.
In that case, you know, all the reagents can still be used with the arcane focus, but you still have to use that pearl. In addition to your arcane focus. That's how I rule it, because spellcasting with reagents becomes very tedious to keep track of otherwise.
Yeah, I know, I agree.
So that's how
Nobody
I kind of
wants
do it.
extra tedium in any of these kinds of games.
Yeah, like combat in itself is already like kind of convoluted at times. If you're gonna have to track of, okay, I've got 2 branches of yore and 1 stone of baby tears. I don't know, like it becomes really annoying. Anyway, moving on. Scholar's Pack or Explorer's Pack?
Scholar's Pack.
Scholar's Pack. Alright, make sure to write down what's in it as well. And of course, the most important part, your spell book. Alright, so now the fun things for a wizard start. As a wizard, you start off with a bunch of stuff. You get your arcane recovery and your spellcasting. Now, the spellcasting leaves you to be, gets you 3 cantrips, which are wonderful things, and 2 first level spells you can use. Well, you have 2 spell slots at the first level, so make sure to write that down somewhere. I will, do you already have your cantrips figured out?
No, not yet.
Right. I do highly recommend to get an offensive cantrip as well as prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
That's one, because that is just extremely fun for role-playing, and there's a lot of creative things you can do with that. And an offensive cantrip, because if you do run out of spells, you're a little bit, how do you say? Fucked. But it's up to you,
Yeah,
like, if you don't want to do that, like, it's absolutely up to you. It's just something I have learned in my campaign, that has come up in the past.
Definitely have, am I picking them right now? Do you want me to pick them now? Or
Just if you have them picked, you can let me know. Otherwise, take your time with it. Right,
yeah, I'll probably do Firebolt, Prestidigitation. Do I want Light or do I want Mage Hand? Let's go with Light.
Light. That's always a good point. You don't have to use torches. That's a wonderful one. So let's show you your 3 cantrips. And for those who don't know what cantrips are in 5th edition are unlimited magical abilities you have. Because for example, in 3.5, if you ran out of magic as a sorcerer, you were kind of done. You had to use like a crossbow or like a melee weapon, and there was nothing more magical about you. In 5th edition, you can still use these minor magical things like light or just actual attacks that scale with level, So you can keep kind of in the game and feel magical at the same time, which is why in 5th edition, if I had to play a spellcaster, I would play it in 5th edition. Oh yeah, you get your spellbook. At 1st level, you have a spellbook containing 6 first level spells of your choice. So you get to choose 6 of 1st level. Oh my goodness. Hold on, and this is where the can of worms starts to happen, because I do find Wizard to be the most complicated one, yeah.
For sure.
The Wizard table shows how many spell slots you have to cast your spells of 1st level and higher. To cast one of those spells, you must expend a slot of that spell's level or higher. You regain all expended spell slots when you finish a long rest. That's basic stuff. It's the same for every caster with the exception of the Warlock. You prepared a list of wizard spells that are available for you to cast. To do so, choose a number of wizard spells from your spellbook equal to your intelligence modifier plus your wizard level, minimum of 1 spell. So what, your wizard has an intelligence of +2?
Yes.
So you would end up preparing 3 spells you can cast for that day. In total. The spell must be of a level of which you have
cantrips you just know.
Yeah, the cantrips you just know at any given time. They're all just forever and ever and ever, ever. Anyway, use almost level. Ever. God. The spell must be of a level for which you have spell slots. For example, if you're a 3rd level wizard, you have 4 1st level spells and 2 2nd level spell slots, which is an intelligence of 16, etc, etc. If you prefer the 1st level spell Magic Missile, you can cast it using a 1st level spell slot, or a 2nd level slot. Casting a spell doesn't remove it from your list of prepared spells. So
yeah, basically what he's saying, guys, is that you can just take you can just buff up a spell and like juice it up by casting it at a higher level.
Exactly. Well, only if the spell allows it, because there are spells that don't allow that. But yeah, for those who cast, they know what's up. Let's see, you can change the list of prepared spells when you finish a long rest, preparing a new list of spell requests at time spending studying, etc, etc. So that doesn't even matter. So you know 6 spells, and you can prepare 3 at any time. Like, wizards are kind of like the Batman of casters in D&D 5th edition. They know everything, but they have to prepare beforehand to really, you know, shine, if you will. Your spell save to C is a simple mathematical equation of 8 plus your proficiency plus your intelligence, which would be 12, I think. Same thing with your,
yes.
Yeah. Your spell attack modifier would be proficiency bonus with intelligence, which would be a +4, which is not bad. You also get ritual casting, which is nice. Yeah, indeed, you have your spell casting focus. I encourage you to read through your learning spells of 1st level and higher, because learning spells as a wizard is extremely fun.
Good.
And then of course you also have arcane recovery. You have learned to regain some of your magical energy by studying your spellbook once per day when you finish a short rest. You can choose to choose expended spell slots to recover. The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard level, rounded up. And none of the slots can be 6th level or higher. So you can recover 1 spell a day if you take a short rest of 1st level at that point. Which is not bad. Alright.
Long rest is all of them, right?
Long rest is everything, yeah, but arcane recovery gives you access to recover some spells with a short rest. Just like it's very convoluted, very difficult. Wizard not recommended to be a 1st character ever unless you like studying up. So make sure to study up, Wack, and enjoy. Which brings us to the cleric. To our cleric. Let me actually go back. Now, we already know you're going to be a light cleric, right?
Light cleric. That gives me the light as a cantrip. I can also take 3 other cantrips.
Or light.
Which I have taken. Yeah, so I have the light cantrip, which I can pretty much cast a cantrip at will.
Mm-hmm.
I have mending, I have thaumaturgy, and I have guidance. Those are my cantrips.
Alright, so you don't have any attack cantrips?
I'm hoping. We'll see.
This might change because I want to ask you one question. We'll see.
Let's just go through the beginning and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
all right,
I want to ask you one question about my equipment. That's why. Because if I don't, like, if the question goes one way, then I might go for an attack.
We'll get to your equipment quite quickly, so we'll just go through it. 1d8.
And then I get to prepare 3 spells per day, essentially. And because I'm lazy as fuck, I generally only ever use the same 3 spells over and over again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to prepare
a cleric is completely different as a wizard. Because as a cleric, you essentially know all spells in existence as long as you have access to them. And you just have to prepare them, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I can also cast them as a ritual, which is also really cool. I think it's like 10 minutes, and I can cast a spell for free without burning a spot.
Yeah, like it's a casting
cleric
time.
spell as a ritual.
Yeah, it's a casting time plus 10 minutes, assuming the spell you want to cast as a ritual actually has a ritual tag.
No, actually, as a cleric, all cleric spells can be cast as a ritual because that's what they do.
I want to say no to that. Hold on. You can cast a cleric spell as a ritual if that spell has the ritual tag and you have the spell prepared. Page 58.
I might be wrong then. You might be right. Where is it under preparing and casting spells?
Ritual casting. It's on page 58.
Oh, no, you're definitely right. Yep, I read that wrong. You're definitely right. So, well played, sir.
You're welcome. I do like to play dangerously. References. Anyway, let's just start at the beginning before we get to the armor. 1d8 plus your con, which brings you up to a total of 8 plus. You have a con of 0?
I'm not a strong man.
Alright, just a cleric with 8. It happens.
My mother was 10, 16, Selvin.
That
doesn't bode well for
Cleric
me.
with 0 con.
That doesn't bode well for my health.
Any character with 0 con is like, oh god, help us all.
Look, bro, I get sick easily. If it's cold outside, I'm not going out without my wool socks.
You suffer from, you suffer from flu, colds, death, like it happens.
I'm very dainty.
Like, proficiencies, light armor, medium armor, and shields. Weapons, all simple weapons, no tools, saving throws, wisdom and charisma. Skills, choose 2 from history, insight, medicine, persuasion, and religion.
So, wait, to be clear, I'm not even proficient with the glass blowers tools I have? That's so disappointing.
No, you are proficient with them because you get them from your background. You get them from your background, you are proficient with them.
I get them, but it doesn't say I'm proficient with them from my background.
Then you are not proficient with them.
Ouch. So I just have them.
You just have them.
My cousin dropped them off one night. I swear they're not mine. I'm just holding them for a friend.
It just means you don't get the proficiency bonus on them. But you can still attempt to blow glass.
That's funny. Yeah, all right.
There you go. I hope
I never noticed that before.
This is gonna be great.
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
God,
hold on. Wisdom and charisma are your saving throws, and your skills are history, insight, medicine, persuasion, and religion. You can choose 2 from them. Which ones do you pick?
I chose insight and persuasion.
Insight and persuasion. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So your equipment. What was your question about that?
So I wanted to trade my mace or warhammer for a short sword. That's what I wanted to ask you. If I could trade off that first, like, option A, or the first option for what my main weapon can be, for
I'm
basically
assuming you're looking for something to use with dexterity,
finesse.
I take it?
Yes. I need something finesse.
Is there a bludgeoning weapon with finesse?
I doubt it. I actually... there might be. I doubt it, but the mace might be finesse. Let me double check here.
Yeah, the ball peen hammer.
No. Nope. Nope. There's no bludgeoning weapon with finesse.
It's almost like this entire idea was really bad.
It's almost like that. Look, I'm going to find a weapon, and at the first chance I do, I'm just going to drop whatever I got.
Like, you could technically just go into the store and just be like, look, I need a new weapon. This doesn't work.
Yeah, so
for
like
me.
if we wanted to like go around doing that, that's the first thing I'm going to do because I can't use a non-finesse weapon to save my life.
Oh, hold on. Let's see. First it was in my light as a sickle. Really, I thought it was a light hammer. Light and thrown. No,
light hammer. It's light and thrown. Yeah.
Yeah, light doesn't make like it has to be specifically finesse, right?
Yeah, so I would even trade a warhammer for a dagger.
Yeah, I know.
Like that would even be my trade-off. My guy would just never use a big lumbering thing. He's pretty weak.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So in almost in everything, what I'm trading for is going to be a trade down for me. Unless I'm forced to use it strength wise, so it's going to be like a worse weapon.
You could equipment. If you look at your equipment, there's a section that says any simple weapon, which means you can get your dagger or short sword.
But I really want that light crossbow as well. So that's the problem. Because I want a range and I want a melee weapon, but I just want my melee weapon to be dexterity, finesse.
Like, or you just switch to dexterity with your strength and your entire character's fixed.
Oh, I do that. But then John Claude wouldn't feel the same. He would feel different to me.
I think he's already like begging to be murdered at this point.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna die very quickly. Let's come to terms with that. But he's gotta go out in a blaze of glory, right?
Since daggers are really easy to obtain in the game, I am gonna say you're gonna have to buy it.
I'll trade you my mace, a mace or a warhammer for a dagger. Can we take that trade? We'll take that trade anytime. We'll call it a deal gone bad. I was too
What
drunk.
do you guys think? Other players, would it be fair?
I think so. I mean, maybe, you know, I mean, what's the? I feel like maces are more expensive than short
I think
swords.
warhammers are like 20 gold.
Yeah.
I could take a warhammer, sell it for 20 gold, buy a dagger with it, and pay the guy who's selling me the
you can
dagger.
just throw you can indeed throw it at my face and do like a 50% price reduction. You still get a dagger. Fine, you can do the mace. You can get a dagger instead if you want.
Awesome.
You can get a dagger instead. That's fair.
The first person I've ever heard that's been happy. I got a dagger.
Yes. Yeah. Look, I don't care about stats, man. I just want to play the character the way he deserves to be played.
Exactly.
I don't care
get a
if he can
dagger.
only use a dagger.
All right. So skill mail, leather armor, or chainmail if proficient.
I can't take the chainmail. I'm not proficient. So I'm as hell. I'm going scale mail. I'm going full on.
You're going light, right?
No, medium.
I mean, like light domain.
Scale is medium.
Light domain, right?
Yeah, light domain. Yeah, that gives me the warding flare. I can use warding flare twice as a reaction.
Okay. If only you got life, you would have gotten heavy armor. But yeah, like you would have to go with indeed the medium armor indeed, which is skill mail.
Yep. Making my AC 14 with the armor.
Okay.
Gives me disadvantage on stealth.
Okay. Make sure to add that into your armor section as well. If you add it up as well, it should automatically adjust your armor. And then you get a light crossbow as well with 20 bolts. So make sure to keep track of your ammo, as well as make sure to write down in the weapon the range, just like Zcotticus did. Oh wait, is that?
Yeah.
No, wait, that's you.
Where does that? Where do you actually write the range? Oh wait, no. Where do you actually write the range?
Just in the name. Just in the name.
Oh, okay. I see it.
So you have light crossbow right now.
What,
So I would say,
320.
yeah. You can search it up in the equipment section. It should be fine.
Can we spend our starting funds to buy weapons? Because then you could just buy a rapier. Because your starting funds is going to give you enough to buy it no matter what. I think.
Meh.
Yeah, I always start, like, the thing is, I really hate giving people, like, a bunch of money. I'd rather have them base on their background and such. It's just easier.
Yeah, it's trickier.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's a lot easier to do it that way.
Okay.
I honestly don't care that much.
Like,
So,
in my experience, people seem to forget continuously, like, most important stuff. Like, they forget torches or rations, and like, oh, God.
yeah.
And of course, a priest pack or an
Beautiful.
explorer's pack.
I took the priest pack. I'm still a priest, regardless of what others might think of me.
All right, make sure to write down what's in that at your earliest convenience. And last but not least, a shield. For that, I would also encourage you to write that down in your armor section, just as shield.
Yep.
Plus 2
It's
armor
there.
and wear it. And of course, a holy symbol, which also counts as your
Spellcasting
spellcasting
bullshit.
focus. Now, I'm pretty sure a
Yeah.
cleric can actually use their shield. Like
This is like a holy symbol.
You can use
like
your
you can use
shield
your,
as
you
your
can write your
holy
holy symbol on your shield, and you can use your shield as a spellcasting focus.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, otherwise it's going to be a holy symbol.
Can I make it like a gauntlet? Because my god is going to be helm. I don't want like a special gauntlet. I just want whatever glove I'm wearing. Maybe it's got like brass knuckles across the glove, and I just want to be able to like point it as I cast.
I don't see
Like,
why
Middle
not.
finger.
Like maybe it's
Yeah.
like a like your symbols just embroidered on like one of your leather gloves or one of your gloves or something?
Yeah. It's like a leather glove, like a fingertip is gold or something. I just like point it and as I cast the spell.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Like, I don't think it would change too much.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
As long as that thing is on your hand. Now, if somebody wants to take it away from you, you may lose a hand. But, you know, all in due time.
I encourage them to do so. You know, each their own, man.
All right, so let's see. What else do you get as a... You get in these 3 cantrips. So you're not going to go with the offensive cantrip?
I am not going to go with the offensive cantrip. I have a crossbow and a dagger. I don't need any offensive cantrips.
All right.
So that is that. I have the 4 cantrips: guidance, thaumaturgy, mending, and light, and then I get to know 3 spells. And I'm taking, for the most part, I probably will almost never change these out, but I'm taking cure wounds, inflict wounds, and shield of faith.
Your wisdom modifier is +2, right?
Yes.
Okay, so cure wounds, shield of faith, and
Inflict wounds.
you don't want to get bless, one of the best spells in the game.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I was like, you know, like
I plan on like dirty shotting people when they're not expecting it. In which
Okay.
case, I'll hopefully have inflict wounds readily prepared.
I just want to point out you can bless yourself as well, which makes it easier to do that thing you just wanted to do.
That is true, but then I would have to get rid of one of the other ones, and it's a big trade-off. I'll probably put bless in sometimes.
All right. Well, you can always, like, you know, take a moment, take a full rest, and then switch them around, right? Like, you can always do
Yeah.
that. You have,
Yeah,
like, that's
what
the
I
beautiful thing
figured.
about,
I'm like, all right.
yeah, that's the beautiful thing about a cleric. You can pick whatever you want. You just know the 3. All right. What else do you get? You also have at any given time have available Burning Hands and Fairy Fire.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I forgot completely about that shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Burning Hands, those are first level spells, right?
Yeah. Burning Hands and Fairy Fire. You have these always prepared. You can't unprepare them. These are straight up from your domain.
The light domain. Yep.
So if you ever need a Fairy Fire or a Burning Hands, you have always got access to those. That's really good.
Awesome.
Indeed, the
Yeah, that
bonus
makes me
cantrip. You already
less
wrote that
weak.
down, which is the light, right?
Yep. Yep.
Beautiful. Warding Flare. Also at first level, you can interpose divine light between yourself and an attacking enemy. When you are attacked by a creature within 30 feet of you that you can see, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll, causing light to flare before the attacker before it hits or misses. An attacker that can't be blinded is immune to this feature. Ooh. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
So twice a day, essentially, I can warding flare people.
Alright. Utility, I love it.
So it's going to be awesome.
And I believe that makes your character done as well. So I believe all characters are done.
Yep.
Correct.
I believe.
Alright. My goodness. I think we're gonna take a break then, after this intensive character creation. And then we'll start doing some playtesting. Alright. That's pretty awesome. And we're under 2 hours. Nice. We're doing great. Alright guys, we're gonna be right back with some playtesting of these freshly new created characters in the world that I have created myself. We'll see what they do. It's completely gonna be improvised. So we'll see if shit goes down. We'll be right back about 5 to 10 minutes. Hopefully we'll see you then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Hi. No, you guys not. You're just gonna be awkward. That's fine. That's cool.
Oh,
I feel like that's part of being like a role player, right?
yeah.
To be
Yeah.
awkward? No, no.
We're all just looking for that one Mrs. Someone out there who's really into awkward guys.
Yes.
She's out there, everybody. There's one of them somewhere.
Like, I thought you were gonna go with, we're all looking for that one who likes to roleplay with us, but
Eh.
no roleplay in the bedroom. No, okay.
You threw in the bedroom in there.
Hey, look, D&D can happen any place, anywhere. You don't have to confine it to a table. Look, there are maidens who need to be rescued. I am just saying.
I just crit.
God,
all over
no, no, Sam, no. Don't.
He made it bad.
Don't go.
He made it bad.
You made it worse. For the record, let the record reflect.
And sleep.
Let the record also reflect. We're gonna start the live playtesting.
That thing, D&D.
Now you like that transition? I'm a professional. So we have made indeed 3 beautiful characters. We have Liara, the human rogue, who grew up on the streets. We have the highly intelligent but socially awkward, scatterbrained human wizard called Antwerp, I believe.
Yes.
And we have the and we have the half-elf, kind of frat boy cleric Jean-Claude something. Jean-Claude, who has traveled and now goes forward, doing whatever the hell he wants, really. Live hard, die young.
Yeah, sure.
Well, he's traveled a little bit. And,
He's well traveled.
You fucked that up.
Yeah, like these characters are kind of new to me, right? Like, I have not extensively read their backstories. Give me a break. I'm doing this on the spot. I'm working with myself here.
True. Well played.
Or your character's just that forgetful. Anyway, regardless, allow me to start. So where we begin is in the city of Amarok. This is the so well-known save zone. However, you guys know this city as as almost like a dead end. It is known in the city of the Kingdom of Iran that this city is has a bad reputation. Not because there's bad people here, but because of the events that have transpired here. There's not much known about it, but what is known is that many people have died in the last couple of years as this settlement was trying to get off the ground and flourish. They have since moved past it, as far as you guys know, and it has drawn adventurers in because these events have also shown that there is perhaps great promise of fame, fortune, hidden knowledge, or other undiscovered items that may be worth looking into. Whatever the reason may or may not be, you guys are drawn here and to go forward. But first, I think as is tradition, you guys are perhaps hanging out separately in the tavern or perhaps elsewhere as we go in. So you guys recently arrived at the city. Are you guys all in the tavern at this point, or is it the first place you go to, or?
I feel like Antwerp would be in his room, probably scrawling on every available surface. Even though he's totally not supposed to.
What are you scrawling?
What would look like total gibberish to everyone else. It looks like there's like some math there. There's some different, like, it would look like grocery lists, you know, like be like cheese, milk, 5, like there'd be like
times 2 to the power of 3.
Yeah, there'd be like long division and shit like right next to that, like, you know.
Okay.
It's actually a very, very complicated recipe, you know, of the most delicious cake. But you guys are all kind of in the tavern, and if you kind of want to figure out how the city works, it's about they live about 400 to 500 people right now, and it's placed on this peninsula that is connected to this Scottish Highland type area, which is called the Highlands. And most buildings are built primarily out of thick wood and some reference to iron bands and such, which is the dwarven influence in the city. There's a large, thick wall that is currently being repaired. The gate has been bashed open recently due to events that you guys perhaps are known of. There was a siege on the city, which was hauled off, but repairs are still being made. Is there a mic acting up?
Yeah, I hear that.
That was a little funny. Swarg.
Whatever the case may be.
Yeah, let me try something.
All right. Whatever the case may be, it's a typical, just a settlement that is just like growing just a little bit beyond that. And you guys are hanging out in the tavern, which is known as the Resting Storm. We have the wizard scrawling away in his room that he perhaps has procured in that inn. And what are the other 2 players doing right now?
I think Jean-Claude is making all the party at the bar, and I'm like in the center of a large group of people, and I have a drink in my hand, and I go, and I said, "That's not a raccoon. That's my wife!" And I cast Thaumaturgy, and I just like belt out a, "Give me another drink, please." I look towards the bartender.
It's roughly it's pretty busy in the tavern. It's about maybe about 5-6 p.m. at this point, and everybody's like kind of wasted or like getting into that state. And everybody's like just laughing with you, and they just start chugging away the shitty ale. But after a couple of swigs, they don't really care. It's booze. It gets
Who's
you going.
behind the bar?
Exactly. It's not really a good bar though.
Who's working the bar?
5, 6 p.m. Eden is currently working the bar. It is a half elf, which you can see. You don't know his name clearly, but it's a half elf working the bar. He's currently just, you know, filling up.
Is he younger than me or is he older than me?
You don't know that.
Can I judge? Give or take. So it's probably. Are we pretty similar?
You would say about the same, yeah. Like, you know, if you, as far as you can tell, the best, you know, it's about the same, but you don't know.
So I like wave him down. I like hold out my cup and I go, hey, you don't mind? Can you top this one off? This one's about done.
Pay first.
You see, I'm fleshed out of coin. Maybe one of these lovely people could. And I cast thaumaturgy by like pounding my finger on the bar, and I'm like, maybe one of these lovely people could buy me a drink, right?
And everybody's just kind of looks at you and just starts going in their own separate ways at this point and starting just drinking kind of without you, because they probably liked you because you were buying drinks, but since you have run out of coin, they just kind of moved on to their own separate groups again.
Well, shit, Eden, a tough crowd, huh?
Yeah, you kind of see the barkeeper raise his eyebrows and like just actually attends to his other customers who actually do pay.
So I like to turn around and like gaze up and look around the room, like whistling, like, woo, all right.
And it kind of falls on deaf ears at this point, because there's a lot of dwarves in here, and they kind of only care about ale and their own kind at this point. Especially you, recently into the city, you know, you have a big, you know, a loud voice, but you have not really proven yourself.
At the shaking and the sound of this, like, comeuppance down in the bar, this very like spindly, wiry, reasonably tall-looking man with twin mustaches that are extended, I have to say, quite wide out to the side. He doesn't have, you know, the typical wizard beard. He has like these twin mustaches that are like twirled fantastically out straight like to the side. He comes down the stairs and he's straight up just like wearing like his undergarments, and they're all different colors, like just straight up like just all like patched together different colors. And he's got his hands on his hips and he goes, now see here, I am doing work of the gods. Gods can't exist. I don't think I have gotten into this conversation so many times in the past, but I do have to say there is a lot of loudness in here, a whole lot. And did I pay? I paid you, right?
He kind of looks enough. There's like this. He just kind of looks at you. I'm starting to think not enough.
As I was saying, what was I saying? I don't remember.
Something about doing work of the gods.
Right. I'm taking very detailed information down, and I need my quiet. I've had enough of this. Who is responsible?
I don't mean to. I don't mean to like ruin your problems, friend, but that would be me. I'm terribly sorry about it.
He walks forward like brusquely, and again he's just completely like he's in his undergarments, like he's, you know, it's like a onesie, right? Like, but it's like all patched and like, you know, he's got like the hatch in the back, you know, for when he has to use the outhouse, with like two comically big buttons that don't match. And he walks like straight up to you, and he says, and he sort of waggles a finger, and his fingers are all like ink stained. Like he has like black ink like all over the edges of, you know, the tips of his fingers. He's obviously been like writing very like diligently. And he sort of like waggles a finger on you, and probably like a little bit of ink like gets on your clothing, you know, like as he waggles. And he says, now see here. He says, what was I saying?
What? Huh?
I wanted you to see something. What did I want you to see?
I brush my shoulders off and I go, right, yeah, see here, why don't you have a seat? Maybe we'll talk about it, friend. Please, sit right next to me. It seems like recent company has since left me alone.
Well, food, drink, merriment. I see.
Eden, my best friend, please. This gentleman would like to pay for a drink. Right, you got money, right?
Hey? And he sort of, oh my, what am I wearing?
You look great.
The barkeep
But do you
walks
have money?
over. He just kind of like crosses his arms, like he just kind of like stands there, giving this look of like I'm waiting to get coin before I'm serving you ever again.
So I like put my arm around. Oh God, your character name. Oh no,
Antwerp.
Antwerp. God, that's it. I put my arm around you and I like, money, right? You got a couple copper pieces in there.
So I stare at him and I say, I don't have any money.
Well, Eden. Well, it seems like we'll be leaving. And I turn you, spin you on the stool to like lead out, and I kind of give you like a shove to stand up. And I like stand up and like brush myself off, and I kind of look around and like, we best be finding someone who does then.
So I just start like walking away.
Like as you
and I
start to
still
walk
go
away, as you start to walk away, Eden is like, he kind of looks around. Wait, well, you can always work for your drink. You seem like a capable
Work,
man.
and I like lean over, grab Antwerp, and like hold on to him as he's like walking away. Go, what do you got in mind?
Well, we're running a little bit short on supplies. We have plenty
Hold
of.
on, you little fella.
We got plenty of ale, but we could use some fresh meat. Tell you what, if you
Do
go
you mean
hunt,
you mean like freshman or like actual meat, like donkeys and shit?
the kind you can eat.
Not cannibalize. Are you guys cannibals?
An interesting thing about cannibalism. Believe it or not,
No,
cannibalism.
uncalled for.
Alright, at this point, Liara kind of stands up from her seat in the corner. She's quite tall. She's like 6'1". She's kind of in her cloak with her hood up. And she just walks over to the bar and just puts her dagger in front of the guy and says, I hear you're looking for people to do work.
I grab Antwerp. I'm like, slide over to Liara. I'm like, yep, we're with her. We're looking for work as well.
Well, I guess we have a capable group here. Then, yeah, we're just looking for some fresh supplies, right? We're talking about some basic meat here, maybe a deer or two, just so we can get
She
through the
shrugs
night.
her short bow. She shrugs her short bow off her shoulder and says, I can make it happen.
There you go. However, I don't want people to go outside these walls at night alone. And he kind of like, mumbles something under his breath. Too dangerous.
Well, there's three of us here, Eden. I'm sure we can
Now, when you say
keep her
deer,
company.
when you say deer, do you mean deer, or do you mean deer? Because if you're looking for the deer, I don't personally have a significant other.
The one you can eat. The one that roams in the wild. He's kind of like baffled by how scatterbrained you are. Like, you seem like an intelligent man, but you're like all over the place. He doesn't quite know where to put you, if you will. The one you have to no what? He tries to find ways, but at which point it's like he understands that everything can be taken wrong. Let's start over. Names. The name is Eden. Yours? As he kind of looks at you, the Antwerp.
Says, names are a very interesting thing. Do you know the power behind a name? Power is everything. They bind names together. Without names.
All right. Hey, just tell her what you call them. What do people call you?
Oh, Antwerp.
Antwerp and
Oh, right. Antwerp, nice to meet you. I'm Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude.
And I hold my hand out to Antwerp. Wait, hold on, Eden. Don't interrupt.
He starts writing on his arm. Like he takes out this quill, and it's got ink all over it.
I push you with my left hand. I'm like, what are you doing?
And he starts writing down your name.
Stop that. What are you doing? Did you just write my name on your arm?
If I don't write your name down, how will I
Okay.
remember it?
Whatever. Eden, Jean-Claude, nice to meet you.
Likewise, and the lady.
She kind of tilts her head and says, Liara, it is a pleasure.
Well, at least you seem like a normal one here. Anyhow, tell you what, you guys get me some fresh meat, hunt a bit, hunt an edible animal. He kind of like takes a moment to like see if the crazy.
I like lean into Antwerp. I'm like, animal, you hear that? Not humanoids. Animal. What about a bugbear? And I like look into Eden. I'm like, have you ever tried bugbear?
Don't think I want to either. Not today, at least.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. That's
Let's
pretty
keep it
wrong.
simple. Let's keep it simple. I don't have that much gold. But I will pay in first rounds on me if you guys come back with sufficient supplies.
What about a preemptive drink? Can we get a preemptive drink here? Like you're leaving the gates and you're probably not going to return kind of drink?
No.
I would love a wheatgrass juice.
Can I roll a persuasion? And I lean. I'm like, yeah, my friend here would love a wheatgrass juice. Can you give us some wheatgrass juice, please?
You can roll for it. You can try.
Oh, nice.
There it is.
And he rolls a fucking 19. I really want to give you this wheatgrass juice, but I don't have it.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
Like, this establishment doesn't look like it's kind of establishment that is kind of like thrown together out of just, it's a makeshift inn almost. Like, all the buildings are kind of like makeshift still, right? They're not like designated to be specific or built with a specific purpose. Like, right, as far as you can see, as far as if you have been around this inn for a little bit, the only thing that they really serve is water, ale, and just like hot basic grub that barely passes for food.
Well, what about a mug of ale? Can we get one and split it 3 ways between us? Do you drink, right, lass?
I do not drink alcohol. Do you know
That's fine. You
what
can
kind of negative effects alcohol has on the
I
brain?
look towards Liara. Like, do you drink?
Yeah. She turns towards you, and you can see that she's got bandages around her face and a wooden mask over it.
Whoa. All right. Well, name's Jean-Claude. It's nice to meet you. But do you drink?
She says, "Not right now."
At least somebody
But
is
later.
smart over here. Anyway, it is getting dark and the gate is about to go. Yeah, well, I guess not
Right.
anymore,
So
but-
one to go, please. It'll be nice.
Yeah, Liara takes the, like 5 silver out of her coin purse and just kind of pushes it on the table and says, "For my friend here."
I like take out my water skin. I'm like, yeah, damn right, for my friend. And I like pour out my water skin on the bar right there. I'm like, if you could just fill this up, that'd be great.
Nah, the
Thank you,
people
Marco.
these days.
Silver.
Like, he nods and he takes the silver, makes sure to write down the 5 silver on your character sheet, and he just kind of like, oh, crazier things have happened. And he's like, he walks to one of the taps and he fills it up, he closes it, and he instinctively wants to give it to Liara, as she's the one who paid for it, but he does give it to Jean-Claude. Alright, well, if you guys go then, you can make it before the sun completely sets, and then the first round's on me. How's that?
Sounds
First round
awesome.
is on you. Why would you pour the first round on you? That doesn't make any sense.
Liara just puts a hand on their shoulders and nods to the barman and says, "We'll be on our way."
But I don't understand.
All
Why
right,
would
little
you
man,
pour
let's
the first
keep
round.
moving.
Don't worry.
Just like push some Antwerp ahead of us.
Yeah.
At which
I'm
point,
like,
like,
hey,
Eden nods and he just kind of goes back to his business, because it is kind of busy and people are yelling for it. Eden! Refill! And he's like,
Yeah.
coming up! And he kind of gestures that he has to go and he just moves back to his own business.
So, Liara, thank you so much for the drink there. I appreciate it.
Yeah, she nods and then she takes another look at Antwerp and realizes he's more or less naked, and she says,
Well, it's a onesie, right? Like it's like one of those gay like onesies.
so she realizes you're in your undies and it's like, "Let's get you dressed, shall we?" And
Dressed?
she kind of nudges you towards the stairs.
But I don't own any dresses.
"Let's get you robed."
Haha, robes! I have one of those.
There we go. And she kind of nudges you towards the stairs.
You could even argue that I have multiple robes because my robe is
All right, little buddy, let's get you to keep moving.
For
Get right up
multiple
those stairs
rounds.
there and get yourself dressed right up, all right?
He just kind of keeps ushering him up the stairs as he continues to ramble on.
Right. All right. So then we like shove him into his room and just like let him close the door and dress himself.
Yeah, a couple of minutes pass, and I think in due time he does get dressed, I hope. Or clothed properly.
Hopefully before the gates close.
Yeah, he comes out and his clothes, he robes
I
on
would like to
backwards,
point
he's
out,
got
like,
the-
like what's your guys' reaction to the fact that nearly everything in the room is like has been written on? Like it looks like.
Well, we're not in the room, are we? Or we're gonna watch you change.
Reel in the door, I
Well, he
guess.
just throws the robe over the one.
We like shove you in and like close the door behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's keep moving.
This is out of my hand. It's up to you guys. Like,
So we walk towards the gate. Antwerp has got his clothes on. I like look over to Liara and I'm like, well, you're a tall drink of water, aren't you? What are you, like 6'5", 6'6"?
She looks at you and goes, oh, not quite.
What are you, a human, half orc under there or something?
I am who I am.
Right, all right. To each their own, I guess. I'm asking too many questions, I guess. My mom always said I did that. And I like hold out, I like take a drink, and I'm like, I pass it to Liara. I'm like, you want some? You paid for it. Thanks, by the way.
Yeah, you see, she gives like a kind of light giggle. She can't help herself, and she kind of like puts the mouth of the water skin up under her mask, and tips it back and takes a little sip.
All right.
She hands you a bag and goes, not the best ale I've ever tasted, but
Well, it's kind of all yours. Just ask away. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is gonna kind of be all on you. This hunting job. We're just kind of here for the ride.
Ride? Are we riding something?
Yes, Antwerp. We're gonna be riding. Yep. The clouds of cold. We're gonna be going.
Well, I can't ride a horse. Well, at least.
I just like step forward, like even more, leaving Antwerp to follow us behind us. I'm just like, right, well, the rest from outside the gate. This is all on you. Then, Liara, you take it from here. And we kind of like stand at the gate. Like, what does it look like past the gate?
as you guys approach the gate is still completely smashed. Like something really heavy broke through it. Like, you know, they're starting repairs. There's some cart filled with you know, fresh cut down trees and such to repair the gate with. There's a few guards, you know, patrolling the immediate area. But as you guys walk out of the gate, you are met with this typical Scottish green highland. It's green as far as the eye can see, only disturbed by foothills and, you know, like rock formations that pour out of the ground. And to the right, there's a lot of trees, a lot of forestry, where on the left side, there's a lot more like mountainy things happening. And that's kind of what you see. Like, and there's one path that kind of goes straight forward as far as you can tell right now. It's dark, so it's not like you can see everything clearly as the sun starts setting.
Liara looks over to Jean-Claude and says, your eyes are better than mine. Where do we go?
Well, maybe you could see more if you. I mean, I don't want to insult you, I'm sure, but took that mask off. Probably obscures your vision just a little bit, right? Like beer goggles.
She just remains silent and says, lets out a sigh and says, Jean-Claude.
Goggles?
Better than
Interesting. Why would you put beer in goggles? Does it help you see? No, it couldn't.
It's like it's like eye droplets. You ever take eye droplets? You just go right. You just put them. You just hold it out. You just stick them right in there, and they just like right into your body. Hits you real quick.
Yeah, Liara like face
Interesting.
palms and then just starts heading towards the forest.
So you guys
That's
like,
all.
Right this way, little buddy. Just follow right off, right after her. You know, you really shouldn't be doing that. You should probably let us know when you're going to be walking forward like that.
She just power walks forward.
Yeah, so it's just
Yeah,
like keep
follow.
walking. We just like follow her.
The immediate forest, that's, you know, like as the trees start growing thicker, is on the northeast side. You know, where you can really see a thick forest happening. However, there's quite a bit of empty space, a lot of foothills that you have to work your way through. It takes about a good 30 minutes, up to an hour, especially when it's dark. You don't want to necessarily run as fast as you can before you guys start really touching the forest and entering it. As you guys move into, and you know, about 30 minutes later, about an hour later, who is taking lead? Lyra still taking lead, just charging forward, brave.
Like once the group kind of catches up,
Yeah, I guess we should like stop on the edge of the forest, right? And be
Yeah.
like, well,
She turns to the other two. Yeah, she kind of looks at Antwerp, then looks at Jean-Claude, takes a deep breath, and asks, "Have any of you hunted before?"
Depends on what you're talking about.
Oh,
Hunted
I
what?
hunt all the time.
Hunted what?
Yeah,
You hunt all the time?
Absolutely.
What are you talking about? What in the hell do you hunt?
Well, I visit many, many libraries, and finding the exact book that I require
He hunts books.
at any given time is quite difficult. But I have learned quite many things while doing it.
I must admit, I must admit, my dear, I don't really hunt anything either. I probably hunt less than this little guy over here.
Little guy, I'm taller than you.
Wait, what race are you? You're human. aren't you?
I'm human. I'm like 6 foot tall.
Okay, so you are taller than me. I guess I just call you little because you act little.
and she kind of like turns towards the forest and says, "Well, I guess it's on me then."
Well, I mean, have you traveled through the woods before?
Well, yes. Absolutely. I mean, there are so
On the pages of a book, little friend. But
whatever do you mean? What's the difference?
I can't even.
God.
In hell's name, I have no idea. What about you, Liara? What about you, a woods person?
No, I'm more suited to this city.
Well, I guess that leaves one of us. And I like reach into my priest pack and I pull out. I think I have like 3 torches in there. Let me double check. But I pull out a torch and I'm gonna like. You guys are both like, you're human under there, right? I look to Liara like under her mask.
She just gives a short nod.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you agreed to something. All right. Well, I light a torch.
I am indeed Homo sapien. Can't you see that?
Homo what?
Homo sapien.
Come again?
Sapien? Homo sapien?
What?
It means human.
Oh, well, I've never heard that before. That's mighty pretty. What would I be called then? Huh?
So
And I point to my ears and like kind of pointed.
Antwerp says, ear.
Yep. All right. That I don't know what I expected. I look back at Liara.
And so Antwerp looks at Liara and just kind of shrugs his shoulders and like, this guy.
I'm like looking in my priest pack. I'm like bending down on a knee and I'm like looking in my priest pack. I'm like, well, shit. These things. Apparently, this one's brand new. I don't have any torches in here.
Like you know you have the light cantrip, right? You know you can get cast on anything you want.
Oh wait.
Spellcasters, ladies and gentlemen. Spellcasters.
Oh, I thought that was in character.
This never happens to me. I promise. And I just like cast light on like my fingertip and I like hold it up and I like, well, let me point us the way, I guess. Get it?
Oh, yes, excellent magic. And Antwerp sort of like he grabs his quarterstaff and he sort of like he twirls his hand around like the gem in the top, and he's like, light, and he just sort of he picks like a nearby. You said we were near a forest.
Yeah, like there's some trees around you, but you guys are getting on the edge kind of like where the forest really starts getting noticeably thicker.
Okay, yeah, he casts it on like the nearest tree branch or something.
All right.
Look, I go, well, all right, he's not completely useless. We might actually succeed here, Liara. Might be all right.
Liara goes over and, snaps the branch off and kind of holds it before her like a torch.
What
I just turned mine off. And was like,
possibly brilliant idea!
Yeah, she turns to Jean-Claude and says, "Please, lead the way."
I suppose I should, shouldn't I? All right, little buddy, you're all right. Sorry for the little buddy thing. Your name was Antwerp, was it?
Some people, yes. Yes.
What about other people?
Other people are other people. And he looks at you and raises an eyebrow.
Right, on that matter. This way. Should we, what are we looking for? Food, right? Any sort of meat source?
Yes, there's the. Maybe a good place to start would be looking for tracks of some animals.
Right, I almost forgot. That's what they do. So let's, right. I like turn in a circle like 360 degrees and I like point randomly into the forest. I'm like, this way. I like go in like 100 feet and I'm gonna like stop to the ground and look at the ground wherever we're at. Be like, we should search out here for tracks.
All right, you disabled your light, so you're now 100 feet away in the dark, right?
No, he cast light on the branch and
That he's
we're holding
holding.
the branch.
But
Yeah.
did you follow him? Did you walk with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're
Well, in that
sticking
case,
with
I want you to make a survival check to start seeing if you can find some tracks.
Oh yeah.
them. Nailed it.
So I like look down. I'm like picking up the ferns and like pushing them up and looking at the mud on the ground, seeing if there's any tracks in the ground or whatever.
Like it hasn't necessarily recently rained, but you know the soil here is easily imprinted with tracks and well, the soil is relatively soft and fertile. So let's see. We have a 19 and a 22. Wait, a 19 and a 22? Oh,
No,
the
that
19
was
was
for
persuasion. Sorry,
persuasion.
22. Okay, that's fine. Hold on, I have to make a quick roll myself, just to see, just for shits and giggles. All right. All right. So what is happening? You do find some tracks. There's definitely a D100. What?
That I'm sorry. That was for my trinket.
Oh, okay.
That's. I wanted to see what the
Ignore anything Antwerp does.
What the gods have bestowed upon thee. Right. So you do find quite a bit of tracks. There's definitely some movement happening here. You can find what appear to be to you tracks of like a heavy animal that indeed go thicker into the forest. If you can do a nature check, you can maybe decide what kind of animal it is, but you can definitely noticeably find good tracks going deeper into the forest.
So I like bend down. I like look up back at the party. I'm like, well, looks here like there was an animal stomping party of some sort. Probably like a what do you call them? Like a hippopotamus or something. Like went into the forest. Is that a thing?
hippopotamus in a forest.
Yeah. Liara looks at Antwerp and says, Antwerp, you're a learned man. What made these prints?
And he says, I am a learned man. Thank you for noticing. He says, I have several. And then he sort of like looks off into the distance and he says, yes, I wonder if I carry the...
Nudge you with my elbow. I'm like, hey, come on.
She comes over and puts a hand on your shoulder. So she's right next to you, her head next to yours, and she points directly at the tracks and says, what made those, Antwerp?
And he says, what would I be rolling here? Is it nature or survival?
Nature check, yeah.
Nature.
You're trying to just to figure out what
I'm
these...
not proficient in nature, so this will be interesting.
Oh. You're smart, though. You're
Only
good
one way to
intelligence.
tell.
Oh, damn.
9.
Oh shit!
You look at it and like you can tell that clearly, you know, that they are made by a large, heavy animal, but you don't know which one. That's all you like. You do agree that the prints, the tracks are clear, that it's a heavy
Can you tell
animal.
if it's like a hoof, or if it's like a paw print, or if it's like a claw?
It is a paw print, yes, but you can't. At least he cannot figure out which, or does not know at this time which animal it is from.
He says, He says, well, I frankly... And he just kind of stares like off into space for a second.
She-
What were we talking about?
She taps him on the shoulder and says, the print?
The print. Oh, yes. Which book are you talking about?
She hangs her head again, takes a deep breath and says, the animal print?
The animal print. The animal print. I don't remember that book.
She, again,
What?
head next to yours and points at the print in the ground and says, that one.
That one. Oh, I don't know.
Good.
Really? All that? You're just in there? All right. Well, throw caution to the wind, right? How do I know how fresh these tracks are? How far behind we are?
What did you throw in your 20? You threw 22, right? They're relatively fresh. And now that you think about it, there's a thought that pops into your mind that if you guys keep the light on, you would probably scare any potential creatures away, unless those creatures feel threatened by the light, and they may very well be more inclined to attack you.
How fresh is very fresh? Like an hour? Like 10 minutes?
You would say about maybe an hour. Within the last hour.
And we can follow them?
Yeah, you can
They go into the woods?
Yeah, you can clearly follow them.
So, well, we got about an hour of catch up to do to whatever this creature was. If they're done with whatever party that they were having, they're probably heading home at a probably pretty normal rate. So if we, do a swift jog, perhaps, or a jot, or a morning jog, or whatever you want to call it, we can catch up with it probably a handful of hours ourselves.
Liara holds up the light stick and looks to Antwerp and says, "Can you make this stop?"
And he says, and he looks, and he looks at the stick, and he takes it from your hand, and he says, "Yes," and he puts it on the ground.
Well, all right, let's go.
Liara's in her bag and pulls out her hooded lamp and her tinderbox and lights the lamp and encloses it so it's just giving barely enough light for her to see what's at her feet.
Nice.
Instead of a bright light,
like
dim light.
With you, with like Liara in the middle, I'm like leading the way, through the undergrowth, like following the tracks as best as I can. And I think Antwerp is following behind us if he is capable of that.
Oh yes, I would like to point out, by the way, that by now you guys have probably seen that Antwerp has tucked his robe into the hatch of his onesie, like in the back. It's just sort of tucked in there.
I guess at one point when we stopped looking at the tracks, I'm like, you got a little something on your, and I slip it out ever so quickly. I'm just fix it. Just slip it out of your butt crack hatch, and, drop it to your ankles. And I'm like, right, nothing to see here. She didn't see that, right?
Yeah, Liara's just she's focused on looking around and kind of keeping a watch. So it went.
Yeah, let's keep going this way, and I turn, and we'll huddle through, travel through the underbrush a little more.
Mm-hmm. Liara just constantly looks back and checks that Antwerp is still there.
Oh,
nice.
I mean, he's the dog that has to sniff everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's going up to different trees and stuff and inspecting the bark. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, and you guys continue, and the tracks they lead further into the forest, and you do also notice branches being snapped and bushes being pushed aside by something that is clearly some kind of large creature. And I want, in about 30 minutes, you guys go deeper into the forest, the light being dim. I believe, assuming that you have the light with you, and you are in front, right? Leading the way with the light?
I'd be in the middle because he can see better at the front with his low light vision. The light's basically just to make sure that we don't trip over rocks and stuff.
Okay. Then I want Mr. John Claude to make a perception check.
Damn.
All right, that's a 10. All right. You're still just following those tracks, and nothing really catches your eye as you guys just keep moving.
Have we lost the tracks? We're still going, right? Very
You guys are
clearly
still going. Yeah,
following
the tracks were very visible, and they were very fresh.
All right.
You are still able to follow them.
All right. So then while we're talking, maybe, I don't know how long it's been later, but an amount of time later that it's a non-zero amount of time, I'll just bring up while we're talking, I'll just be like, hey, look, have either of you guys heard of a place called Agraphia?
Agraphia. Have I heard of this before?
I don't even know what Agraphia is, so... What's Agraphia?
It's nothing. I'm making it up.
Yeah, Liara puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Focus, please." And
What are you
kinda-
talking about? Focused as fuck.
I'm so focused right now, dude.
Dude, I'm so focused. Look, I just took like 3 ounces of Ritalin like an hour ago. I'm shooting to the stars. But no, like seriously, have you guys ever heard of agraphia? It's got like the answer to everything, like the meaning of life and shit.
Just I'm debating. Like, does my character know because he's learned?
Do you? I don't care.
Like that depends. It's like like, are you trying to pretend to like a well-known place or something?
I don't care. It can't
You
be.
don't know what it is. He's just making it up on the spot as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, go. Feel free to do whatever the hell you want.
Like
Wack.
he's just trying to make small. I'm just going to assume he's trying to make small talk, and he just doesn't really know what to talk about, so he's just making shit up.
This character is actually from a movie for the most part.
Agraphia? No, what is that?
It's like the answer to everything, you know.
I would like to point out that Antwerp gets uncomfortably close to you now.
I like putting an arm around you, like whispering in your ear. I'm like, it's like the answer to everything, you know. It's like man, like you just go. It's like a super secret place. You just go there, and it's like just tell you the meaning of life and shit.
Interesting. Is this another dimension?
I never thought of that. Is that possible? Can you do that?
Is it related to one of the planes? One of the elemental planes, perhaps? Please,
What
go on.
I'm like, I talk a little bit louder. I'm like, what are these planes you're talking about?
Liara comes up and goes, "Shh, keep your voices down. You're
What
so
for? There's nothing in these woods. We haven't come across anything yet. We're just following this hippopotamus. Planes. What are these planes? Go on, Antwerp. Come on. We'll let the man.
There are 4 planes.
Okay, this time I slip out both my daggers and have them in either hand and put a hand on both your shoulders and say, "Please be quiet."
Why?
And I like lean in. And I'm like, yeah, why?
Can I make like a perception check to see what's around us and stuff? If there's
Yeah,
any
go
indication
ahead.
of anything?
Like it has been a couple of more minutes as you guys have walked.
Oh god, my perception's so bad. Okay, I got a 15.
As you like look up, like with a, as you almost like are about to roll your eyes based on their answers, you do see a creature, as far as you can tell, motionless, about 100 to 200 feet away from you, through the forest.
Okay, I'll lift my head and nod towards it and say, "That's why."
I like look over and like, what's why? That creature over there?
I slip my daggers back into my belt and take my short bow off my back.
Oh, wait, that's the creature. And I like get low and I'm like, damn, we're there. We're here. What do we do?
And Antwerp looks at both of you and he says, "What do you mean?"
I grab you by like the collar of your onesie and robe and like drag you to the ground to like bend.
Stay here.
And I like grab him like around. What do we do? No, what do we do?
Very quietly, we get close. And then,
How far away are they?
it's 100
About
feet, right?
About 100 to 200 feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's difficult to tell as far as the perception checks have gone. It's difficult to tell through the forest, but it's you know it's an all right distance still.
There it says, "I will get closer, very quietly, and find out what it is. Then I will come and get you, and we will either kill it or flee. Do you understand?" And she kind of like turns her head towards you both pointedly.
And I look at you and I like, well, may Helm have blessing upon your shot. And I like grab you by the shoulder and I cast guidance upon you.
Okay.
What does
Of
guidance
course,
do
I
exactly?
understand English. I understand
It
combat.
gives him a D4 on whatever is next. I think it goes towards attack roll, but it might not actually go towards attack roll. It might just go towards skill checks.
Okay.
Let me double
Let's
check.
see.
And D4 added a number of ability check. So yeah, it's not even an attack roll. It's just an
And
ability.
it lasts for 1 minute, so it's an ability check in it for 1 minute.
All right. I'm going to try and stealth closer to the creature to get a good look without it hearing me.
All right,
Shoot,
yeah.
come on.
Roll a stealth
Got
check.
this.
At a +8. Oh my god, I got a 13.
You have a plus 1d4. You can roll a d4 as well.
Yeah, I'll
Add
add
that to the
D4.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, guided guidance is the shit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
baby, so
Nice.
17.
It's,
Sweet.
17. Yeah, like you almost like it's dark, and you know, like even when the party, the people you were with, like they take a moment to to look around, and they almost lose you as you kind of just disappear in the shadows. You get closer, and then as you get closer, there's a bit of an open field here, and there's a large creature. Throw a nature check.
Okay. 13?
13. To the best of your ability, it kind of looks like a boar
Okay.
of sorts. So it's good meat. It's definitely larger. However, it looks like it's sleeping
Okay.
against like this tree that kind of stands in the middle. There's some bark broken off, some splinters going on, and he looks like he's just like kind of laying against it, uncomfortably so.
Okay. I'm going to turn back towards my party, and I'm going to like lift the hood on the lantern, like up and down, like open it so it flashes towards them to try and get their attention.
Look. Hey, keep your voice down. We're going to head forward just a little ways, all right?
Very well.
Hey, shh. I said shh. Do you know how to shh? Can you do that for me? Shh.
What?
Shh.
What are you doing?
Shh. Zip. We're going to play a game now. This game is going to be called a silent game, all right? You're just not going to talk. I'm just not going to talk, and we're going to move forward this way, all right?
Very well.
I
And
grab
he
you by
looks
the collar and I like drag you down again. And I'm like, all right, you can do this. And I like pound you on the chest and cast guidance upon your chest. I'm like, oh dear God, Helm. Don't let this little motherfucker fuck up. All right.
So what's exactly happening right now?
We're like army stealth. I'm going to like lead Antwerp army stealthing like half the distance towards where Liara is.
like Antwerp keeps trying to stand up and
I
like,
like
walk
keep dragging
around.
you. I just keep grabbing you by the collar and pulling you down.
All right. And so wait, you're like getting close to the creature now, or?
Well, I assume we're taking the same path that.
Yeah, we're just like following the same path. We're gonna like I'm gonna stop halfway to Liara, but we're gonna like
Sounds
move
good.
stealthily the same path that she took.
Okay. And what do you do, Liara? Like, Liara only got relatively within eye vision of it. Like, she didn't walk up to it, right? So.
Yeah. She was just, like, so she can keep an eye on it. So she's watching it and just listening for those guys coming up behind her.
Yeah, so we stop like 60 feet away or so, like
right.
light crossbow range away, give or take.
Yeah.
And I look at Liara and I like wave.
All right. She hears you stop moving and kind of looks around.
I guess we have the hooded lantern, right? Or do you have the hooded lantern?
Yeah, I took it with me. And that's how,
Okay.
that's how I got your attention.
Okay, so then you probably can't see us at all.
I've got it turned towards you so it doesn't disturb the animal. So
So you like shine it at us a little bit, and like I like stand up and I'm
put
like
it on low. Yes, I see you. And
wave my hands.
I turn it towards me slightly and like I hold up my short bow. And then I turn towards the animal and I'm gonna pop a shot at it.
Okay.
All right.
Do I get advantage for it being asleep?
It's also
also
like
prone
getting
at the
really
same
dark
time.
right now, and since you're not using full light, it's very difficult to spot. However,
Can I turn my lantern towards it real quick?
you could,
That's
but it's
too
dim
weak
light, right? Like you're doing a dim light, and this creature's about maybe still like 80 feet or so away.
It's max range of my bow.
Yeah.
I've
So,
got
and
much
since you
more
don't
range
have
of
dark vision, and it's getting really dark, and it's thick forest here, it's very difficult to spot.
It's a hard shot, sounds like.
So it balance out to a normal shot.
It balances out to a normal shot.
I like look at it and I'm like, what is she doing? What is she doing?
I'm gonna.
I believe she's firing a bow at the creature that's over there. But you asked me what she was doing.
Quiet, man.
I am merely answering your...
Jeez, I like stifle your voice. Like, come on.
Stop trying to silence me.
I'm the man. This man's always trying to silence you. Just, shh.
Alrighty.
Don't fucking stretch it, nerd.
A little bit. So I look into it. I'm like,
Anyway, Liara, what do you do? Sorry, what do you do?
I kind of like stand up to take the shot, and then like I can see its shape, but the darkness is kind of like shifting as the shadows do, and she lowers her bow again. She's not too confident she can make the shot, so she's gonna stealth back. She's gonna sneak back to those two guys.
all right, quiet. She's coming back.
Do you want me to stealth roll it, or can I?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so I go back to the guys and I reach into my bag and I pull out a steel ball bearing from my burglar's kit and I say, the beast appears to be asleep, but it is large. I think we may need to work as a team to take it down.
What is the beast anyway?
I think it's
Approximately how much does it weigh?
I would guess. Oh. A lot?
And
As many as 5 of me, perhaps?
she says, so Antwerp sort of looks you up and down and he says,
I mean, she's not like a slender woman. She's quite well muscled. As you take a kind of closer look at her, she takes good care of herself. So
I don't know what unit of measurements, like the common unit of measurement for this world, but for weight. So he says, 5 of you. Okay. Carry the 1. That would be, very large. Yes.
she holds her hand out with the steel ball bearing in it and says, can you make this a light?
That is a ball bearing. I have seen them before.
Can you make it glow with your magic?
Oh, absolutely. And he does it, like, cast light on it.
All right, you've got a ball bearing now that is very bright.
Yeah, she closes her hand around it real quick and says, follow quietly. And she walks back to where she saw the creature.
And Antwerp looks back towards Jean-Claude and he says, is your name Quietly?
Oh, God. Oh,
I believe I'm supposed to follow you.
Wait, what? She meant stealthily, little buddy.
With stealth. With great...
Shh, stealth.
So when Liara gets to the clearing again, she's going to give the ball bearing a chuck in the creature's direction.
Okay.
To try and light it up.
Distraction!
God.
Like the ball,
Every time she hears that, she
even
she
though there's a
just
lot of
shudders.
noise coming out, the creature doesn't seem to be awake. And as the ball bearing gets closer to the creature, and it becomes very well lit, you see that there is a lot of blood on the creature, and it's not asleep. It seems to be dead.
Well, damn. Easy one, right?
And also, like, the tree itself seems to be broken and splintered at certain parts, as if the boar attacked the tree.
Oh, that's, no. Nothing about this looks good, fellas.
Well, that's interesting. Why would a boar attack a tree?
I don't know what's doing equation or something.
I don't suppose there would be any earth elementals around here. No. Definitely not. Couldn't be. No. Do you think?
Liara turns to Antwerp and brings her face close to his and speaks softly and says, focus. Do you know what could have done this? And then she kind of looks at Jean-Claude as well.
Just, I would have to take a look at the boar. Why don't we go over there?
I like give him a shove towards the tree a little bit.
She grabs on him and says, I don't know if that's safe. You see how large the creature is?
Well, yes. You said 5 of you.
Yes. Let's see if what hurt it is still around. And she kind of like just kind of skirts around the edge of the clearing, kind of near her, having a look around to see if she can spot anything that is indicative of, you know, giant boar murder. I guess I'll roll a perception check.
So you just look
Perception's so
around.
bad. Why do I always decide to do this?
So you just look around to figure out if there's anything out of the ordinary that could have possibly have done this, right?
Yeah, I want to see if there's anything that's, you know,
Lurking.
indicative of
Alright.
that killed a boar.
All right.
Oh my god.
Like, with the low light, with the darkness setting in, and even though you have a dim light, and even though with the lighting up of the boar, you just don't see anything that could have possibly done this. Like, you look at the boar, and it looks like something, like, really hit it and hit it hard. Like, it doesn't look like fresh cuts or pierces, it looks more like just crushed, something crushed it with a solid amount of force, but...
I need to get a closer look. And Antwerp starts walking over, like, the most straight line possible to the boar.
She's gonna store a short bow and pull out a rapier, and she's gonna stick close to his side. She says to him quietly, I'm with you, Antwerp.
Right, we're really gonna go forward.
Antwerp just sort of like walks forward, and he's using his quarterstaff like a walking stick to sort of help him like navigate through.
I let them go for like 20 feet ahead of me, and I'm like, well, damn, all right. And I like sneak behind them myself, like kind of looking out.
All right, yeah. You guys walk up to it, and, you know, with the light of the ball bearing that is still, you know, glowing, but as you guys look up to it, and it looks like it suffered major blunt force trauma to its body, not just to a specific location, just like to its body. And it looks like the tree has taken some punishment as well, with, you know, the splinters and bark, pieces of bark everywhere. And that's the situation you guys are looking at right now.
This boar has taken quite a bit of blunt force trauma. The tree indicates, and he starts like working out angles with his arms and stuff. He says, I predict, if I roll investigation, can I determine like what angle the force came at? Does it look like it came from above or like straight on or, you know, down below? Like, how does it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, okay.
I know what you're trying to do. You know, and we're like 5 seconds away from enhancing here, so...
Oh, damn.
Like, you just
Why
can't...
do I only roll well when I'm a GM?
Yeah, I know, right? The struggle. Like, you try to, like, figure it out, but nothing that really... You just can't make sense of it. Nothing really seems to make sense. Like, there's something... You can definitely tell that whatever this is, it doesn't make sense.
Well, this doesn't make any sense at all. And he says, by the angle for which the boar was injured, which I think was this way, it's really hard to tell with this small amount of light. Frankly, we should come back during the day to figure this out.
I cast light upon Antwerp's the button on his butt flap hatch. I don't know.
That's totally hidden. You can't.
Okay, so like your shoe.
Untucked for me.
I cast light on your shoe. And well, if this thing isn't going to kill you now, well, I don't care. We might as well use light, right?
Does the boar look fresh?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Nothing's stopping us from just bringing this back, right? We don't have
Like,
to find out what killed this boar.
The blood itself is, like, not properly dried up. Like, whatever happened here must have happened, like, in, like, the last 30 minutes.
Okay. I suggest, unless either of you are very strong, that we cut some haunches from it and be on our way.
Oh, we should be very careful about eating anything that we don't kill. says, "Are you aware of all the different bacteria and infections?" And oh my!
all right. Look free, live free, die young. Let's go. I pull out my dagger. Yes,
Parasites, my good man. Parasites.
I'm just like, all right, let's just go. And I'm sticking in. I go,
Do,
did I ever tell you guys the story of that bugbear chick I once met?
Do a survival check.
I start like hacking away at the leg as I find my survival skill. Is that the survival? Yeah, 20.
Oh, man.
There you go. Like the first leg, you're just cut off perfectly flawless. You look at it and you like, your mouth starts watering as you imagine how it would look after it's roasted and spiced, right? And you start moving around to the second leg. Goes without a hitch. You reposition. Start repositioning the boar, and as you do that, make a perception check.
Dun, dun, dun.
I like. Let's just move the ball right over here.
No.
Get an 8.
Like at this point, like you look, you could swear you could hear something. Actually, everybody make a perception check. Everybody.
Oh man, a -1. Beautiful.
Yeah.
God. Oh my God, guys, come on. Someone has to roll.
Antwerp being too focused about the anatomy of this giant creature, you know, Liara being too aware of her surroundings to actually pay attention to what is right in front of her, and of course Jean-Claude just hacking away, being in the moment, living hard, dying young.
The bugbear girl, she was a great time.
Though you guys don't notice anything out of the ordinary. At which point, what is your armor class, Jean-Claude?
Oh,
Probably without my shield. It's actually 16.
no. Damn, that's pretty good.
So my shield's probably not out.
Yeah.
Probably still strapped to my back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm also cutting away at a boar, which means I'm probably also not ready for whatever is going to surprise me with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get wrecked.
Let's just see. Well, hopefully it doesn't.
I wonder if I can. I might be able to warding flare it though, even if it is a surprise.
But we're doing with advantage here, so hold on. We're gonna do a.
Oh God. Thank you.
Oh fuck!
Okay, suddenly, as you are cutting away at this boar, you feel this crushing blow hitting you straight in the head, and you just get knocked back with a force that you have never felt before.
Don't do it! Don't kill me!
From the bugbear.
Don't kill me!
Lol.
I am so sorry. Hopefully I roll low.
No!
24. What is your max health?
Holy mother of God!
I think
What is your
Massive damage. I'm dead. That's
Sticks his head up.
that's. I'm just like, hey guys, this bugbear chick was great.
Okay.
One shot, one kill, 360 no scope.
Exactly.
Seriously, an overmassive
This
killed
tree.
me by 8 damage.
This tree, you don't know, like, but whatever happens, you get this entire, what feels to be like just a sledgehammer, a large sledgehammer with just full force against your face, crushing your skulls, and whatever remains of your brains that would reside in your brain are now leaking out of it as you just like get knocked back 10 feet through the air and just tumble, and your body just becomes motionless. The two of you hear this massive whack, and just like this deafening silence of this man just losing life.
So we overhears, yeah, this bugbear
Just
and silence, and I can turn around like, what? And then I just see like his headless body flying through the air.
he just looks right, and then you see him fly around 10 feet, he just rolls over, tumbles, like his neck's twisting the ways it shouldn't be. You now aware, like whatever hits him, you see that this tree now starts to like slowly get out of the ground. Just like roots become visible, like the branches and the large thick bark, almost malleable, now start to come out of the land itself. Slowly. That's what you see right now.
I quickly look at Antwerp to kind of see what he's doing.
Antwerp, like really casually, like just sees like, like really casually sees Jean-Claude go flying. He says, "Oh my."
Yeah, at that point, she just like runs towards Antwerp and grabs him and starts like pulling him back the way they came.
He's probably dead, you know.
Like, no, and for the record, yeah, indeed. The for the people who are asking, massive damage means insta-kill, no death saving throws. Is the damage done? That is, you know, if a character gets killed, any remaining damage, if it's bigger than its max health pool, it means it's just an insta-kill, no death saving throws. So it was really unfortunate. Of all the rolls I could make. Anyway, indeed, this tree starts to come out. There's like that, you know, like there's this large cutout boar still clung to his hand. Like there's one laying on the ground as this tree starts to get up. What did you do again, Lyria? What was your plan?
I believe the term is GTFO.
Oh yeah, you're just running for it. You're not picking up anything. You're just running for it.
No, she grabbed me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I grabbed the back of his robes and started pulling him. Away we came.
All right, you guys start running away. Let's see. Yeah, and if you guys keep looking back, you do see that the creature starts like slowly. This moving tree starts to walk slowly in your general direction. You know, it looks really broken up, but it still moves just fine. It just like walks in your general direction, but it doesn't seem to be able to catch up, even if you were just walking pace at this point.
Yeah. Kind of once we get like a safe-ish distance away, I like take a deep breath, grab Antwerp by the shoulders, and look him in the face and say, "Is he dead?"
Well, I would assume so. I mean, I believe in most races, if your head twists all the way around and your brains explode from the back of your head, you're usually dead.
Okay, she nods, takes deep breath and says, "Can we destroy that creature?
Of course.
Can we live and destroy that creature?"
That is a better question.
For those who are proficient in Arcane check, if you are proficient in Arcana, roll it. Roll for me. Roll for me. Roll high, please.
I'm not.
Roll high, boy. I believe.
I don't know if I can do that.
I believe,
23.
Man. 23. Now that you have seen it move, you know, especially since you have studied some of the nature parts, which is also where you picked up the Sylvan language, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. You know that this is an awakened tree. Either by the forces of, you know, the spirits of nature, or just perhaps druids that have been messing around with it. This is an awakened tree. However, judging by its appearance, it seems to be severely damaged, as you're now putting one and one together, as it seems to have previously fought that boar, and it's severely, you know, it's damaged. But if you can take it, that's something you can't really decide, because you've never fought one of these before.
Well, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It looks severely damaged. You see the boar, where it hit it right below the... Well, I suppose that would be a big knot at the bottom there. You know, the appendages, the roots that it's using to walk, are severely impeded. Hence its slow movement. Maybe.
Do you wish to risk your life?
Oh, and one more thing based on your Arcana check. Wood burns really well.
And so he mentions to Liara, well, I don't know if it's really that much of a risk. As long as we stay outside of its range of motion, we should be fine.
It does move slowly. And as much as we had a short time together, we should recover his body.
Well, why? It's dead.
Okay, let's go take care of that tree, shall we? and she grabs you and pulls out a dagger.
I thought we were going to kill it. Why would we care for it?
And she just ignores you talking, and she cuts like a strip from the bottom of your robe, and ties it round the tip of one of her arrows, and gets some string out of her bag and ties that round, and pours some lantern oil on it, and gets her flint and tinder at the ready.
Okay. Well, this takes quite a this is not like an instant thing. Like you have to cut it down, you have to pour it and light it. In the meantime, like since you guys haven't really run far away, you do see the tree kind of moving and getting closer, being clearly agitated, as you perhaps are about 60 feet away from it now.
Alrighty, so
Okay, I would like to say, this could be a problem. It appears to be getting closer.
yeah.
If I may. And then he casts Silent Image.
Oh.
And what does that do? And for the record, normally we would use the grid for this, but since we still have to set up all the tokens and whatnot, we're just kind of, since it's one enemy, it's fine.
He casts Silent Image, and it's it looks like a fire in front of the creature that's walking.
What does Silent Image actually do?
It's you create an image of an object, a creature, or some other visible phenomenon that is no larger than a 15-foot cube.
Mm-hmm.
The image appears at a spot within range and lasts for the duration, which is up to 10 minutes. And you can use your action to cause the image to move to any spot within range. As the image changes location, you can alter its appearance so that its movements appear natural for the image.
Okay. So there's this massive fire just bursts out in front of this tree, and it now I actually have to think of something. Hold on.
No! The enemy of any DM.
It says it can determine it's an illusion with a successful intelligence investigation check against...
That's not the thing, because it's a visible phenomenon, right? It's a visible thing. So you have to see it
Does
with
the tree have
eyes.
eyes?
So I'm thinking right now that the creature itself may not have...
Does it have normal vision?
It's gotta, right? Because then how does it see me at all? Or
It
like
has a passive perception.
I think it probably heard you.
it would be blind fighting otherwise.
No,
Yeah, does
it
it have
has
blind sight?
it has a... I think it has something like a blind sight, but I'm not certain.
Like tremor sense or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Whatever enables him to stop this tactic from working.
Yeah, cool. Let's retcon 10 minutes.
No,
Yeah,
I'm looking at it.
Fuck you, tree!
You just killed John Blood. Have mercy.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't actually mention any kind of visual. So it's I'm gonna go and say it's blind because it does not mention any. Well, is it though? This is weird because the wording is dumb. Hold on. I need a normal creature.
I need a normal creature.
Yeah, as a frame of reference.
Like a treant, maybe?
Probably a tree ant, right?
No, I'm gonna say.
I'm really curious
I'm gonna
myself.
say. It's a. Well, you don't know what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Well, actually, the wizard knows it. It's an awakened tree. It only says passive perception 10. So I'm gonna say it can see because it's not considered blind. Because otherwise it would specify blind. So I'm gonna say in the awakened tree, just like he does see the fire and just backs off. Does it have? I should. It's just gonna try and like walk around it slowly.
Yeah.
And
Sarah looks down to him and says, "Keep it busy." And she lights the arrow, and she's gonna try and ping a fire arrow at it.
All right, yeah, make an attack roll.
Attack. 14.
Yeah, the arrow does find. With the light of the visual fire that is actually an illusion, it does give some light off. Yeah, the arrow does strike true. And you added you added like a little piece of fire to it.
Yeah, I wrapped some of Antwerp's cloak in some oil and.
Roll 1d2 for me.
Oh, D2. Oh man.
It's improvised
Oh
weaponry.
baby.
Dude. So yeah, like that's 4. That's 11. All right. So yeah, like you do pierce it. However, you do know that the arrow itself doesn't seem to do as much as you would expect it to do if it was more of a fleshy target.
Quite as deep. Yeah.
However, the fire, it immediately starts to like, even though it's like not as much, it's just like a bit of cloth that's burning on the arrow. It starts to like, use its branch to like get it out and just get the arrow out of its body as it starts to burn. It seems to be really afraid of fire, or whatever it is. It seems to be very effective. All right, which brings us.
She's gonna try and prepare another arrow. It may take a full round though.
Yeah, like if you want to bind it and pour it, it takes a. Okay, but it still has to move around the fire. But it has now passed it, and it starts once again moving in your general direction, which brings us up to the lovely Antwerp.
Antwerp.
Okay, so prestidigitation is not a concentration-based spell.
Correct, it's a cantrip.
So I am going to use prestidigitation to basically make sparks and stuff start shooting out of the fire. So it looks like, there's more like embers and stuff that are flying around. Basically, I'm trying to enhance the visual of the fire.
Oh, okay, to make it a little bit more dangerous. Okay.
Yeah. I want it to like look like it's, getting more intense.
Okay. And yeah, you use your cantrip, you focus your magic, and the fire does flare up, sparks start going everywhere, and the tree... And the tree does rail back and just starts moving away from the fire at this point, which makes, creates more distance between you and the trees. More time.
Okay.
At which point, the arrow has a second arrow has been lit, I presume, covered in oil, and you shoot it.
Right. Ping it right in its face. Come on. Oh God.
All right, and do another D2.
Oh, did I hit it with the 8?
Oh no, wait. You're right. No, you're right. Like perhaps it's still dark, and it's moving behind trees and through trees as well, as the forest is pretty thicker. So you just about miss it. If you only could get like a little bit of a better angle there.
And I have a +6 to hit. God damn it.
The rolls are lovely today. I love my rolls today. as it starts, it takes about an entire, it uses all its movement to really start walking around the trees. And it starts to point once again in your general direction. And you guys are still about 60 feet away from it. It hasn't been unable to move closer due to the prestidigitation as well as the illusion of fire.
Yeah. Keep it busy. Yeah, that shouts over her shoulder.
Okay. So I'm going to... About how far away is it?
About 60 feet.
Okay. I'm going to walk back, my speed is 30, so I'm gonna walk like back a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say maybe more like 20 more feet or something. And I'm gonna cast Firebolt.
All right.
Oh, come on, let's roast. Come on.
Okay, so this is.
Give me an attack roll.
Firebolt. Yeah.
It's a +4, I believe, for you. You have a +2 to intelligence, right?
Yep.
Yeah, your spell attack modifier is a proficiency plus your intelligence, which comes down to a +4.
Oh, God.
You aim at it. How does it look when you cast, by the way? If you cast your fireball, how does that look?
You can see it sort of look like Antwerp pulls the magic out from this black stone that he has on his staff. It's set right into the top of the staff. It's not like it's not like popping out of the top, but it's sort of set into the staff at the top. And it sort of looks like he's trying to pull the magic out and throw it.
All right, you pull it out, you throw it at him. However, you completely, you know, you just miss it. You don't even get close to hitting it. Once again, maybe it's because you just couldn't get the angle right as it moves through the trees. Which brings us to the tree itself as it moves forward. However, since it has like a clear line of sight right now and nothing in its way, it seems to like, you know, it uses its branches almost like massive claws and just grabs like two trees and just like pulls itself forward. And now it suddenly becomes a little bit more closer. Now it's 20 feet away from you, Liara.
Okay.
How do you respond to that?
Yeah. Liara sees it move like quickly. She didn't expect it to move so fast. So she looks at it and then quickly like back steps 30 feet. And then she's just gonna keep pinging it with her bow, hoping to strike a vital spot.
All right.
Oh yeah, cool.
And
yeah,
you do hit it. Now, like the arrow is not weighted down by the extra cloth and oil that would normally, you know, mess up your shot. You just hit it, but once again, the arrow does splinter a little bit of bark away, but it just does not seem to be as effective as you were hoping for. And which brings the wizard.
Okay. So Antwerp yells, "Consarn it! This tree is getting on my nerves." And he's going to back up like another like 30 feet or so.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to cast Firebolt again.
Go for it.
Come on.
12.
You see just like the firebolt, you know, you pull it out of your out of the blackstone and you throw it at him, and it just like, it almost scorches him, almost. But alas, it does not seem to affect him as it just goes past him. He does reel from it, the tree does reel from it as it is, you know, afraid of fire. However, I think he just pissed it off more as it's once again just uses his branch, grabs onto like a sturdy tree and uses it to like pull itself forward. As it gets once again a little bit closer. Now it's like about, for most of you, it's about 30 feet away from the two of you. Even though you have been backpedaling, it seems to be gaining on you as you guys have been more focused about trying to attack it as opposed to, as the tree itself has been focused on trying to gain distance.
Man, I wish I was level 2. Cunning action would be so good right now.
Mm-hmm. Try to live for... Try to make it to level 2. Alright, which brings us to Liara. What do? You see this massive tree just like pulling itself towards you. The tree's grown under its weight.
Yeah. I look over to Antwerp and say, "Don't let it get too close to you." And then I'm just gonna leg it 60 feet back.
You use your dash actions as leg 60 feet.
I saw what it did to Jean-Claude, and you can't see it, but underneath the mask there's quite a pretty face, and she wants it to stay that way. So,
so you leg it, and you know, like, how do you respond to seeing your supposed, you know, a party member just leg it after saying what you said?
Antwerp would probably he'd probably say, "Well, this is hardly the way to destroy this thing." And he looks, how far away is this thing to him right now?
It's about 50 feet. Because you have been walking up it has been gaining 10 feet on you each time you run back 30.
Okay. So Antwerp is let's see, what is he gonna do? He is going to... He's going to move the fire. He's going to move the fire in between himself and the tree again.
Okay. And you did like the fire... can you actually do that? I'm assuming that's a silent image, right?
Yeah, that's
you
like
can
my
do that.
action, and then I'm gonna back up with the rest of my action. So I'm gonna sort of kite it with the fire between me and the tree.
All right, yeah, indeed. Like the tree, you know, like the fire suddenly appears in front of it, and it just reels back again as you expected, and it takes a step back and then starts moving around it. It does still try to focus as much on movement as it is, because it knows it can't hit you. It needs to be closer. So it does starts to, you know, grab on and tries to pull itself forward, but it has to move around, and indeed, it does not gain any ground on you this turn. Right, Liara, what do? You have been 60 feet away right now.
Yeah, seeing that it's not gained any ground, I'm gonna make sure that I'm within 80 feet of it, and I'm just gonna let loose again.
All right.
22, another 9. Yeah.
But the arrow is the arrow pierces some of the bark, and now some of the bark just like falls off right now. As you indeed like even though it hasn't been as effective, the continuous assault of like just metal piercing the bark, it seems to have worn it down, especially since most of it was already broken off and just splintered. And the continuous assault seems to have worked. It seems as the last arrow you shot finds its purpose in the tree itself, it seems to be on its last legs. As it just reels back. Now also from
last roots.
your last root.
Oh, man.
It, you know, like as it now also starts to kind of reel back from this piercing arrow, which seemingly should not affect him too much. Mr. Wizard.
Okay. John Claude is he's like, how far away from me? Jean Claude's body? Do I know?
Since you have been walking away 50 feet, right?
Yeah.
So it's about 50, 60 feet away from you. Actually, no, it's 50 feet away from you.
Okay.
Because it was pushed back 10 feet.
All right. I was going to try and do something funny, but...
Oh, I know.
Anime dead!
All right. So, okay. So, yeah, I'm going to take another 30 feet walk backwards, and I'm going to shoot another firebolt, man.
All right, go for it.
And yeah, and as I say this, and I will say, I haven't done enough testing on this spell. I feel I need to find out at what rate it burns bark properly. Let's find out. Not fucking well, god damn it.
You know, overwhelmed with your joy for knowledge, you pull away once again from the Blackstone the magic and you throw it at it, but maybe you're not throwing with your main arm, perhaps, whatever the case may or may not be, you just seem to once again not hit it. Like it's like you're throwing the opposite side almost. It's peculiar. Even for your doing, definitely.
Just rolls, man.
I'm rolling so horrible tonight. Oh my god.
Yeah, it is special. The tree once again, now moved across the fire, grabs a large rock near it. It grabs it
Yes.
and starts to make a throwing motion.
Yeses.
It
Kill him.
starts to make a throwing motion and just throws it. This large boulder.
I'm channeling my good vibes. Please crit.
Hold on.
Insanely.
Since you just threw fire on it, lighting yourself up in the darkness, giving himself a
Oh, no.
perfect target.
He's gonna Brett Favre that shit.
I love you, Antwerp.
Thread the needle. Come on. Come on, awakened tree. Thread the needle through the trees. I'm ready.
Not one, come on.
6.
Ah.
This large boulder just flies through the air, but but one of the trees with the angle he throws it, it just bounces off the tree. It cracks the tree, almost making it split in two as a representation of how much force was behind it. But yeah, you are
Why?
safe.
Do you suppose he's trying to kill me?
I believe that is his plan. Or hers. Or it. And I
It isn't it. That is an interesting question.
yeah, I ping another shot at it.
Does an awakened tree have sex? I don't know.
It was a raider.
The arrow now just
Yeah, I'm so
Whoopsie,
distracted
wishes
by Antwerp rambling on. Trying to tell me shut up and shit at the same time, and it lets loose and lands like 10 feet in front of me, and I just take a deep breath and step back 30 feet.
yeah, just the arrow whiffs.
The
arrow just
overlay's not
does
showing
not-
the rolls, by the way.
Yeah, sorry, I fixed it. Like the arrow just goes past it with a whiff, and just buries itself into the ground behind it. What does the mage do? More testing for the test card?
Antwerp he says, I don't want to die. And he turns around and just starts fucking running.
So you dash for it 60 feet.
Full speed. Like Terminator 1000 style.
Mage, okay.
Alright, so for 60 feet, like the tree is severely wounded. It's almost like falling apart. Like whatever is holding it together is magical in itself, it seems. As you walk away 60 feet and just leg it, this tree starts to move up 20 feet. Grabs that same boulder
Oh dear.
with one of its branches, as it has quite a bit of reach. Lifts it up in the air and throws it in the general direction of you two. I'm gonna roll a d2 real quickly.
Come on. I want a death. I want a death.
All right, so it's actually since Antwerp just legged it 60 feet, he's actually a further target. Liara, having fired repeated arrows into its bark, almost taking its life, is now the target of this large and unfortunate boulder.
Just come on, another two.
Come on, baby. Come on.
18.
Oh, that hits me. Yeah, I've got a 15 AC.
Yes.
15 AC. This large boulder just bashes against you. Unfortunately, it is an improvised weapon, so
One damage.
8.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
It is
I'm still alive.
it doesn't fully crush you, but you're still alive?
Oh yeah, I'm still alive.
Alright, yeah. Okay. Oh, you have 3 health
Great
left.
rolls.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the boulder just it does hit you quite hardly. Your arm just kind of gives way under it, almost breaking under the pure force of this large boulder being thrown to you as you try to move out of the way, just about taking 8 bludgeoning damage. As now blood starts pouring for your arms as it has been torn.
She lets out a scream and she cries, "Antwerp, help me!" And she's not gonna give up. She started something. She's gonna finish it, and she pings another shot at it.
Go for it.
Oh! Critical!
How do you kill it?
Oh, right. So she shouts, "Help me!" and she turns around, her arms in agony. She pulls the arrow back, and she sees where the boar's been gouging at it, and she can see the sap inside, and her vision just kind of focuses on that point, and she pulls the arrow back and looses it, and it flies through the air, enters through the crack in the bark, and through underneath, and just strikes straight in, right to the fletching.
The arrow does strike true, and in fact, it just pierces the entire tree, splintering it just through half as the arrow goes through the tree and finds purpose in the ground behind it, as the tree slowly starts to split through its axis as it tries to move, and in its movement just tears itself apart and just it falls over and immediately starts to kind of dry and wither away as the magic has been released that has been animating this tree, as it now just falls to the ground seemingly as a split tree in front of you. It does, however, almost hit you as it falls over, but doesn't quite make it.
She turns and looks over her shoulder and says, "Antwerp, I believe it is dead."
Then what do you need my help for?
Meat for money for
Oh, yes.
aid for
You
right.
were hired for a job.
Yes. she's starting to kind of get the hang of now how to manipulate this crazy guy and kind of get him to do what she wants. She thinks.
All right.
And she kind of goes over and kind of, takes him by the shoulder and leads him over to show him, the tree.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if that sap is edible. And he says, and he starts like patting himself down. And he says, do I have any sample containers?
Okay. She's going to go over to the boar. How many legs did Jean-Claude get off it before he killed it? 2 or 3?
You're gonna walk up to the lifeless body of Jean-Claude and check it out.
Pry the ham hock from his cold dead fingers.
Yeah, like
Somewhere in the distance, Celine Dion plays.
oh.
Da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na.
As you walk,
He's lying there.
as you'd like attend to your wounds and walk up to it to see what like the boar itself has been turned around as the tree came up and still has like 2 of its legs. One of its leg that has been cut out perfectly, a large chunk, is still in the hands of Jean-Claude. Like his head is like just like completely crushed brains, but he's still holding on to it. Like he has one in his hand, and the other one is like laying in the general location where the tree came out of the ground.
I have a very satisfied smile on my face. I was just like, I fulfilled my life's duty.
And
Like you're not
these
sure
are
if it's
really
a big
large
chunk. Like
legs,
it's
right?
yeah, like it's it's out of character. It was from a giant boar, a large creature. So these are big chunks.
we're talking like maybe 30-kilogram leg or something.
Pretty generously, yeah.
Ooh. Right, so what Liara's going to do is she's going to go over and then she's going to cover up Jean-Claude's used-to-be face with something. And then she's going to go and grab the other leg and lie it in his other arm in front of him. And she's going to get a rope out of her bag and tie it around him and says, "You can still help us with the job." And then basically use him as a sled to drag him.
Oh my god!
Oh, God.
And then he can help with the job and we'll get his body back. It's a win-win situation.
Like, do you want to like
Of course.
take care of his
That
body
seems
before?
quite
Like,
brilliant.
do you want to take away its dagger or its money and such? Like, do you want to take away from its body? Anything?
I'll leave that kind of stuff until we get back. I mean, I guess I'll throw his pack over my shoulder next to mine.
Right.
And I'll ask Antwerp for some help. And
Antwerp is like
Length of
busy
rope.
studying like the head wound on Jean-Claude. Like he says, "Oh yes, quite painful, I imagine. Yes, I suppose if the brains exit the skull at that angle, I wonder if it's an instant death."
again, she puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Plenty of time to study when we get back. And then we can bury him."
There's
Yeah.
never enough time to study. I barely sleep, you see.
Okay, let's get back to town, shall we? And she puts the rope in your hand and starts walking.
In due time,
yes.
In due time, you guys do get there. It takes a little bit more, a little bit longer, as you guys are now like burying, like carrying or pulling, I guess, a lifeless corpse with big chunks of meat. Only 2, since you guys decided not to take the other 2 from the boar itself, because better safe than sorry type of thing. So you guys legged it, and in due time, you guys do see the city. And you see a lot of guards stationed in front of it, and they see you guys arrive, and they raise their shields as you guys approach. And you see archers now arise from the tree, aiming in your general direction.
Liara stops and puts down the rope, and she puts a hand on Antwerp and says, "Be still and be silent." And she holds up her hands and says, "We are returning with supplies."
You guys have walked up to the actual gate.
Yeah, walking up slowly until we kind of get the indication they want us to stop and identify ourselves, kind of thing.
Right, like this big half orc comes out besides the wall and walks up your general direction. He's wearing very little clothing. He's wearing a leather band that holds his axe, and he's wearing some basic leather pants and stuff. He does, however, have this medallion that is in the shape of a shield around the place where his heart is, as almost like a symbol of sorts. And the guy he just looks at you over. Identify yourself.
If Antor goes to speak, she puts a hand, just puts it directly over his mouth, and she speaks and says, "We are returning after gathering supplies for the inn. We ran into some trouble, as you can see." She kind of indicates to her arm, looking quite bloody and ragged, and then indicates to her slide friend.
He kind of looks at you, then at the lifeless body with the crushed-in skull, and then at the meat. Supplies? You got official papers for that?
Liara is going to walk up close to him. And as she's doing so, she kind of adjusts her leather vest. And she kind of tilts her head. The mask is still there, but she says, "I believe those papers are with the innkeeper."
As you approach him, though, and say that, you do see that you can hear through the silence of the night, like the bowstrings tighten. Mm-hmm. As he doesn't flinch, like he is, like, this is a half-orc. He has tattoos over his body. He has like skulls embroidered in his beard. He's not afraid. You see him, like, make a persuasion check for me, as you say, isn't the key.
Roll. 10.
10. The innkeeper.
Mm-hmm. We risked our lives to get this meat for you and your men and the other fine people of our city. We lost our dear friend. Please.
You gotta look. Is that how you treat friends? Use them like sleds?
You did not.
It only made sense. We had to bring both back.
Hand over his mouth again. You did know Jean-Claude. He was a dear, dear friend of mine, and I know that he would only want to continue to help us. We couldn't come back empty-handed, you see. Jean-Claude would never have allowed that.
This orc, he looks around.
What men of honor are like.
He just kind of looks at you, gives you this foul look. He takes a deep breath. He looks at one of his men to the right, that is like, with his shield raised. Oi! Grab Eden. And he stands there and he keeps actively blocking your body. As he looks at you. What happened?
We were following the boar, but a tree got to it first. Sorry, I'm still quite...
It's an awakened tree, and during the awakening of such creatures, they can go quite mad, you see.
Yes.
Have you heard of such beings?
Trees that walk? You can look, do an insight check, if you are actively looking at his face.
I've got insight. Oh, boom, a 19.
Am I rolling too, or?
It doesn't really matter.
I don't have insight, so.
No, in that case, you just, you're more focused about, awakened trees, and like you're enthralled by this
I'm just
phenomenon.
rambling about awakened trees, like, they can range in all different kinds of sizes. I've seen them in large, and interestingly enough, I did bring back some of the sap, and he holds it and like wiggles it.
Like, he's not interested, like, as you say, like, you were talking about trees that were walking and fighting, you see in his face that this is not something unfamiliar to him. This is something that also makes him extremely annoyed. as he starts to actively look past you into the distance.
Liara spots that, and she's the kind of person who will jump on anything she sees. And she looks and says, have you had a run-in with our dear tree friends before?
He kind of just looks at you, and then he kind of points to the gate. You can say that.
Oh my. Well,
It's quite dead now.
I think you can add 1 to the scoreboard for us then.
Absolutely, it's quite dead now.
And then he just looks at the distance, at the forest where the trees are. I'm pretty sure there's more where that came from. And he mumbles under his breath. Throw a perception check, just real quick, for those who are paying attention to the conversation.
Oh my god.
1.
I'm not going to help you there. I don't want to lie about this. I mean, he's not really paying attention.
All right. Like, he mumbles something under his breath, and there's like this extreme frustration and almost anger that shows him, but you can't hear what he says. At which point, you see a figure coming out of the distance, out of the darkness from the city, being lit up by the torches that are carried by the guards. And you can tell it's Eden that arrives with the guard who left recently to grab him.
Ah, there's the innkeeper.
Eden! Friends? And Eden just looks at this large half-orc. And he says, Captain, please, I sent these out a couple of hours ago to grab some fresh supplies. We're running low, as you know. He just kind of looks at the captain. We're good, then? And Eden nods. And, the large half-orc steps aside and just gestures you in. But he does nudge you guys to be a bit quick about it.
As Liara passes him by, she says, I appreciate your vigilance. You keep us all safe. Thank you. And then just kind of walks by, kind of hips swaying.
As you say that, you could swear, just for a moment, that there is this proud smile on his face that almost immediately vaporizes back to his stoic, stern look. As he goes back to his duty and, gets the men reorganized and alerted back again, now on high alert since you guys had an encounter with this awakened tree.
Antwerp sort of stares at Liara, like wiggling her butt as she's walking, and he says, "Is that some sort of mating ritual? What are you doing there?"
Yeah, Liara stops dead in her tracks, lowers her head, and then picks it up and just starts power walking.
Are you looking to mate with me?
Pulling Jean-Claude Van Slade with her.
This dead body just gets carried over the ground. You do end up getting at the innkeeper, and Eden walks with you, and he's like, well, I guess that will do. I've had worse meat. As you have given the meat to essentially a dead body and just tied it to him, right?
Yeah.
So Antwerp says, "Oh, just be sure you don't cut him up. He's not the meat. Just the boar meat."
Yeah.
He's our
I am aware.
Well, was a friend.
Liara turns to Eden and says, do you have a place we could bury him?
He just kind of thinks,
Well, I don't think we could bury him in the tavern.
that depends. How important was he to you? And Eden kind of becomes shifty eyes. You can see shifty eyes. How important was he to you?
She looks at him
I
and
am a
says,
bit curious about how his injury specifically killed him. I'm not sure if it was the blow itself, if he died simply from the blow, because I'm sure that he has a cracked cranium in various places, or if it was the brain hitting the back of the skull casing that did it.
As this rambling goes on, the meat has been cut loose, and Eden is now carrying 2 of these 35 fucking kilogram pieces, large chunks of meat. And he kind of looks
Liara
at.
says, I did not know him for long, but I'm sure he would have given his life for me. Well, he did. He's dead and I'm alive. That is how important he is.
Point of fact, though, I don't know if it was intentional. He was quite surprised.
Yeah, she like steps in front of you, so you're now behind her, and she is speaking to Eden pretty much herself. She can excuse Antwerp. I'm beginning to learn that he's a little eccentric.
He gives you like this acknowledging look, like like that doesn't take a lot, to figure that one out. He kind of looks at his meat. Get back later for payment, but there's 2 ways you can do this. There's cliffs over that into the city. Do what you will. Otherwise, bury him outside the city. We don't have a necessarily graveyard over here. Plenty of dirt to bury somebody in outside, right?
She just nods.
How far are these cliffs that you speak of?
Walk in the city, couple of minutes. It's a small city, right? Like it's 400 or 500 people. Like with a couple of minutes, you can reach one end to the other end if you were to walk in a straight line.
About the same distance either way.
Yeah. It's kind of a circular peninsula.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of like going out and like burying him in the ground, like it's about the same distance. Because
Oh,
you
like
gotta
that.
understand, Antwerp's like train of thought is like, okay, the cliffs are this far, the dirt over there is this far. Like it's purely mathematical for him.
All right. Well, in this case, indeed, which is in line with your character, I applaud that. It is indeed about the same distance because the tavern is about this in the middle of the city, right? It's about it's about the same distance. The cliffs are one way, and of course the way you came from to get outside of the city.
She asks Eden, do you perhaps have a wooden pallet? Carrying him is very difficult, and dragging his body alone is quite undignified.
A wooden pallet? How many colors are in a wooden pallet? Is it mostly brown?
He kind of like talks over the rambling as he just as Antwerp starts to continue his ramblings and his inner thoughts, and he just gets this sporadic stream of consciousness that comes out of his mouth. He says, "Well, we got some wood behind the back. Find something, figure something out. But I have to get back to business. If you seek payment, come back once you have taken care of things."
Yeah. So Liara's gonna do what she can to kind of make some sort of pallet or something she can place Jean-Claude on, and she's gonna find somewhere where she can maybe build a makeshift pyre.
All right. You're gonna go and send them into the ocean? Wait,
No, I'm gonna
what's
set
the
him on
fire?
fire.
Oh,
A pyre.
Okay.
Not necessarily full Viking.
okay.
Yeah.
Half Viking. Right, well, there's plenty of like white wood. Like there's nothing you can really fashion that really looks even remotely like a pyre, but there's something that allows him to be kind of moved a little bit quicker around. But it's very MacGyver-y.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll do what I can. I've got a flask of lantern oil I can pour on him, and if it comes to that.
Mind you that this flask of lamp oil is starting to run low now that you have dipped it in several times and you're gonna pour it over a person, eh? So you get out of the city?
Flasks of lantern oil.
Oh, there you go. You go move out of the city?
Yeah. I'll take me to the city. There must be like maybe scraps of the gate, or maybe some scraps of living tree or something from the battle.
Yeah, like there's still like a lot of wooden splinters and a weird amount of like leaves in front of the gate that don't make quite sense. But you can take some of that and use it as to get the fire really going.
Yeah. I'll do what I can to give him a good send off.
Right. And you walk out the city. You have this common understanding with the guard and the captain. You move out. I'm not sure what the wizard does in the meantime.
So
Does that
Antwerp is like studying the whole thing, and he's like taking notes. Interesting. Don't understand process of burning body. Makes much more sense to throw off cliff.
Easier.
Less work. And he's like writing like equations on his arm and shit, like distance to cliff.
Yeah.
1,432 feet approximately, and distance to funeral pyre, time spent, and he's got like this like equation that he's written, like time spent on making the pyre, the distance, and like equals this much work, you know. And he's just like,
I mean, it's getting pretty late into the night now, right?
Yeah. It's a good 8-9 p.m. right now,
Yeah.
if not even later.
Yeah, the arrows stay up like however long it takes for her to get it done.
All right. Well, it takes about
Antwerp just shoots like a few fire bolts like into the, as soon as the pyre's like ready to go and he throws them up there, he just launches like a few fire bolts at him. He just starts to walk away.
Yeah, it takes about an hour to set up the pyre and to give it like some kind of respectable, send out. And the moment you got it up, you see like a few fireballs going past you, just missing the pyre completely for no apparent reason. When finally, as luck may have it, one strikes through and kind of ignites the entire thing due to your oil. And indeed, as the night grows older, the body indeed gets engulfed with flames and burns into the night sky. Do you guys like stick around and move back and go on to your own business?
Yeah, I reckon it stands for a while and bows her head and says a few words just to herself and to Jean-Claude, I guess.
All right. And I think as this, the night comes to an end, you guys come back to the inn. You get your reward from eating. The first drink is on him. Both of you, indeed, get about 10 gold pieces each for the effort. In total, if you're assuming you picked up also the coin of our beloved. Yeah, like so. You guys get 10.
I give the extra to Liara.
Yeah,
all right.
Liara takes the extra and puts it on a table in front of Eden and says, "When those in need come here, this will pay for what they need. Yes?"
Throw a persuasion check.
Oh, he better be persuaded or bad things are going to happen. Boom. 118.
Ah, perfect. He kind of looks at you and he sees this through your mask and a few bandages. He knows you, right? He's one of the innkeepers and one of his, his colleagues, the people that work for him. They kind of know you, but you have lived up in the city. You have always taken care of those who have been around. He kind of knows, and he just gives you this understanding nod. And with that, tonight's session closes.
So how much gold did we get?
You just gave 5 away gold. So, okay, so we have 5 gold for our beloved wizard friend, and we have 10 gold for Liara. Because it's like this, the tavern is not a rich place, and you guys just went on something to grab.
Good.
You only brought back 2 large meats, so there you go.
So your dead body, Sam, was worth 15 gold.
Worth it.
Yeah,
Worth
because you
it,
guys,
man.
did you guys pick anything else? Because you could have picked all the stuff he has. Like, you picked up the gold, but did you pick up anything else, like the torch and
I would like to point out that Antwerp did collect some sap from that.
Yeah, you write it up like tree sap.
I mean, we've got the Jean-Claude's pack, like, just next to us in the bar. We haven't looked through it or anything yet, I guess. I mean, I took it all.
Yeah, so you just have like my priest pack.
Yeah. So
You left me go with like my dagger and like crossbow and shield, essentially.
Yeah, your holy symbol or whatever.
yeah, also write down that you now own
else other than that.
Yeah,
Probably
exactly.
get a few gold for that holy symbol, right? Sell it right back to them clerics up on the hill.
You're gonna take off my holy symbol?
No.
Oh,
He's a rogue, a rouge. He doesn't give a shit.
how could you be so heartless?
She's a very, very heartful rogue. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a Robin Hood, but with more blood, right? Anyway, make sure to write down that you have now also got access to a priest pack. However, since it's a complete pack, you can only have one of them equipped at any time. So if you want to pick out certain things and put them in your own pack, you can do that. So otherwise, you have a spare pack you can do things with. All right, and that's the end of the playtest session. My goodness. My goodness. It had everything. Action. Death.
I told you.
Action.
I told you. We all knew it was going to happen, right?
This is what I mean. Like, I did not plan any of this. This is all completely improvised. I've got a table that I've had for my regular account, and I rolled on that when you guys encountered like into the forest, and I rolled for an awakened tree. There you go. And I also rolled what kind of creature you guys would find was a boar. This was all RNG based. The fact that you got slapped around like a bastard was once slapped. Not even slapped around, like just slapped in the face.
The first attack was a crit to the back of your head.
It was the best sex I've ever had.
It wasn't even the back of his hat, it was the front of his hat.
Oh,
so
yeah.
just like he was
Blew
looking
his
down.
mind.
I mean, I'll be honest, it's kind of hard to tell the difference, you know?
Yeah, like at the moment it is, I will see that, yes. Fair enough, Sherry. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this complete improv play session. I will get back to you guys once I have all the data. But as far as I can tell, it's looking pretty good. Indeed, if we're going into the mainstream campaign, I will let you guys know. I will give you guys the choice of making a new character offline, or indeed, well, for some people have to make a new character offline. So not sorry. And otherwise, we can always decide later. Beyond that, I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you so much for coming out. As always, is a custom. Let's do some shout outs, you know. Where can we find you? Who are you? Where can we find you? What do you do? And we'll get out of the woods, if you will, with that. So let's start with Zcotticus.
Everyone, I'm Zcotticus. I crit kill enemies that one-shot party members. You may find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zcotticus, and any of my social medias is all Zcotticus. Pretty easy to find. I stream video games a whole lot, and talk to myself, and my cat, and video games. So that's pretty much it. Come hang out. We have a good time.
Does your cat play video games?
I can neither confirm nor deny the actions of my cat without his express permission, and he's having a nap, so sorry. But thanks,
There you
guys.
go.
And this was awesome.
And let's keep it together. Wacksteven,
Yes.
do some shout outs.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It was a pleasure playing with all these wonderful people. Thank you, Swargula.
Pleasure.
And Zcotticus. I appreciate it. And if you guys like this kind of thing, I do a lot of it. I run my own Dresden Files RPG on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on my channel, twitch.tv/Wacksteven. And yeah, I'm the one that usually rolls the crits on players. So I had a bit of crit envy tonight. I was like, that was my roll. No, wait, that wasn't me. I rolled like utter shit. So I think I save up all my rolls just for killing players in my own campaigns. We'll find out. But thank you so much for watching. I like the character, so that was a lot of fun.
All right, and last but not least, Mr. Swargula.
Nice. He got it, guys. He got it.
Nailed it.
So firstly, I wanted to thank Zcotticus, Wacksteven, who I've played with. This is my third time I've played with you now, by chance. Awesome. And Mr. Ace, WolfsGoRawr, for giving me this chance. This was honestly, it was a blast. Even though I died, it was fucking amazing. One of the most fun times I've had in 5th edition. We all clicked very well. Very, very well. And it was seriously very, very, very fun. The chat was amazing, all that kind of stuff. But I'm twitch.tv. I'm Swargula at twitch.tv/Swargula. I play basically West Marches at the drop of a hat. Anyone can come in, and essentially if there's a spot open, you can get in and play in a much weirder, less professional setup that will very randomly, I kill people a lot. Like probably once per session. I've had like 3 or 4 TPKs.
Payback's a bitch.
Yeah. So so WolfsGoRawr, please feel free to come by. I'll give you the worst shit. Let's go. But yeah, so definitely anybody can come by. It's basically all you got to do is have like a webcam and be able to speak English as like a 3rd or 4th language, and you're good. Like honestly, I've seen horror stories. So like That's it. It's amazing. It's super fun. It's always mind-blowingly awesome. And I generally do that. I just kicked off a campaign actually last night, and that's going to go up on YouTube like today. So first time I played a campaign in like 6 months. I'm super jazzed about that. The first session was great. But you can follow me at Twitter at Swargula. I'm Swargula everywhere. I think my porn account is Swargula as well. Like, I don't know. I say something weird every stream. You gotta
just make a different account for
I
our.
was like, it was like pushing at me. He was like, "What's your username?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And it was like, "Here's a countdown. You got 5 seconds." I was like, "Oh fuck, Swargula." And I just typed it in. I was like, "I'm done." No, that's not true. That's not a true story. I lie all the time. But that's it. No, that's the end of my spiel. I'm not good at this.
Visit swargula.xxx for a free subscription.
Yeah, $1,000, and I will send you my upper half.
I got
Yeah,
nothing.
there you go.
Cut yourself in half and send it.
What?
There you
I
go,
got
Ace. That just happened.
have nothing out of what, right? I've got nothing. Hi, I'm Ace. I do this. I also do the variety 7 days a week, or at least I try to. So if you do like what we have done here, make sure to check back next week. We usually play on Mondays starting at 3 p.m. PST, but I always keep you guys up to date on Twitter. Now that the roster may very well increase in sizes, we may be able to play more often, or at least more reliably, so I'm excited about that. And I hope to see some of you guys also come by in my regular streams. And also make sure to give these beautiful people a follow. Follows are free. Give them a day in court. You know, the least thing that can happen is you are disappointed, and then there's nothing lost. Right? That's how it goes. Like
That's what is exactly going to happen.
Yeah, like you've got a no, but you can get a yes. Well, like what's the saying? We have a saying here in Dutch. Like you have a no, you can get a yes. So there you go. Dutch proverb.
I learned
Anyway,
some Dutch today.
well, there you go.
Sounds
Well,
like English to me, but
The only Dutch thing I know is nugget in the kurgan.
fucking in the kitchen, really? That's the thing you know.
oh, I know. Ik ben een grote chocoladeteuger.
Last word, I have no clue what you said, but I kind of got it.
I'm a big chocolate tiger.
My Twizzlers are chocolate?
I'm a big chocolate tiger.
It's something about being chocolate. Something chocolately. We're gonna go. Thank you once again so much for coming. I hope to see you next week. 3 p.m. PST, otherwise we'll let you guys know on Twitter. Thank you so much. We're out!